Hello there, Funny Frog. And over on Twitch, I see the Apple TV rewards enabled. Ooh. Sam's in the house. No worries about Battle R. JJ, how you doing? Tip of the tails to you. Third Bruno is powering through the remaining 13 minutes of work. Hey, what's going on? Super Rayman himself with the tip of the tea kettle. A warm welcome for Yardigans, one and all. SMB fans making his thoughts on Apple TV quite clear. And if you don't care about Stanley Parable, SMB fan, that's fine, but Serious Sam is free to mention said program. SMB fan, says this is not what the Wii Shop theme sounds like. Well, then I'm relieved the text on screen doesn't say Wii Shop. Hello, Vector Sater. How's it going? JJ has an update that his Metroidvania, sure, the glitch, has over 2 hours of content for a first-timer already. Progress is going good. I'm very glad to hear it. Nice. Wackadude is having a quick check-in to say that you beat Sonic Forces yesterday. Well, you beat me to it. I still got the last level to go. But yeah, have a great evening, Wackadude. Wait, so Sam... Oh my god. Sam is talking about Severance? So I've heard of Severance. It looks fantastic. It's a fascinating twist that Severance is an adaptation of Stanley Parable. Because Severance, honestly, that is like the only thing I've ever seen on Apple TV that I kind of really want to see. Hello, Ghostabird, what's going on? Thank you so much, Casey Roleplays, for the Shadow Music Theory video props. Masterpiece as always. I'll have to keep doing what I'm doing then. Thank you so much. Casey Roleplays said it was a masterpiece, not me, so that's how it's confirmed. Was your favorite part my favorite part? We know Shadow has Sonic DNA because Gerald Robotnik looked closely at the mural at Hidden Palace Zone. And I did have a fact checker step in and comment on that. Remind me to tell you about that when we get going. But yeah, showing, the ancient, pristine, isolated, floating island superimposed over the highly juxtaposed, city first level of Shadow the Hedgehog. It was a peak moment of my career, let me tell you. Hello, Otto, yeah. Corkill Zone. Get it? Green Hill? Corkill? I don't know what I'm saying. Good night, everybody. Funny Frog says, why spend $100 on an Apple subscription when you can buy Sonic Mania for... And the heart is covering it. That probably says $20 or left. Otto Yeah says, too many shadows this week. I say not enough shadows this week. See you for the Thursday night bonus stream of Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm just kidding, man, but you never know, 5% chance. Casey Roleplay's favorite part of the whole shebang was perhaps the revelation of them sharing the endless mine, but with the chaos control between the first and third note. And look, if I'm being honest, yeah, that probably was the greatest and most significant, music theory discovery observation. When I found it, I was like, oh my good lord, everyone needs to know about this. This is not just a theory, this is that. It's true. Look at it, listen to it. I'm ready to pop on camera in just a moment, her. SMB fan says, wait, Sonic 5 is coming out? So it's actually already out. It's just not out in this dimension. We don't have that game in this dimension. But there's that YouTube channel that posts music from Sonic and Sega games that are very unfortunately not available in our... And I don't know a way to switch dimensions. I've never even heard of that. Like, they didn't even talk about that in my science classes growing up, so I assume it's not even a thing. Look, I'm gonna pop on camera in just a hot moment here. I just gotta make sure that the window of destiny is open. Shadow Dolphin for the win. There it is. Here comes Alex. The only Alex that's streaming on this channel right now. Me. What's up, everybody? I'm in a good mood. What's going on? Ghost of Burb's got the just a moment her commemoration. I'm ready to go. And hello, Cat Calf Streams. one of our, perhaps the resident expert of this very game. Because you play on difficult mode, and I'm going to do that someday. SMB fan says, am I trying to say it's not available here in the US right now? Wait, hold on a second. That sound coming out of the TV? That would mean that you cannot hear it. But no, I didn't say it's not available in our country. I said it's not available in our dimension. Very different. Eblo confirms Sonic is the speed of sound, light is faster than sound, shadow is faster than light. Good thing Gerald Robotnik looked closely at the mural at Hidden Palace Zone. Funny Frog wonders if I will be completing all over 320-something paths in this stream. Uh-oh, that got a lot smaller. We can't be having that. And if anyone who knows what the cause of that is, it's Serious Sam Stanley Parable 64 Hat Kid Mario White. So if Mario White... No, if Serious Sam 64's MO includes changing your username to a game that you want to encourage other people to play, why did you never change it to Stanley Parable 128? Tiny cutesy little baby screen up at the left says Ghost of Bird. Alright, that should be better. Shadow's got his gun. This is rated not even T for teen, right? It's E8 or whatever's happy middle ground. So yeah, I can't remember if I said what Funny Frog had said. Will I be completing all 600 and whatever pass? 320 something. I'm probably going to stop at around 200 because I'm only one guy and I got a lot of work to do off stream. So let me see where I am. Okay, so if I'm on that one, I think, right, so as many of you know, I'm going through the game and doing all the paths. Okay, so what part of how I do this, and maybe you already know this, I start at the most hero route. Okay, what I'm trying to do, instead of going 326, 325, 324, I'm actually doing all the even-numbered ones, because when you do an even-numbered one, the odd-numbered one is just, watch, click the same route, with the only difference being the mission at the end. So far, I've procedurally gone down the list to get 26, 24, 22, 20. So see how I'm doing them in order? I find it so fascinating to find how Izuka ordered these, where the most hero thing, the most last mission is all bottom. So what's next? The only exception is going up at the end, followed by that zigzag, followed by that, right? So now we're hanging on to the 4th level as long as possible, still holding on to the 4th level, and then 16, now we're hanging on to that 4th level. And I assume it's going to hang on to this for a while. Right, I got that, I did that, this. Okay, and then that. So that's where I've left off, pretty much. All right. Koyao says it's nice. Auto, yeah, has a whole bunch of points. Wait, no, audio. Oh, yeah, I didn't do the audio. Sorry, team. I forgot about that aspect. Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where? Alright. Audio should be coming in. Oh, I probably have to reboot the game. Which is not a problem, because that's easy to do. Please forgive me, everyone. I had a kind of a rush start due to some stuff going on, but ultimately it's on me. Let me open up the game. Koyao only said hi, followed by, Aw, nice. Ghostaburb is commemorating today's stream by doing a drawing warm-up right now of none other than Shadow the Hedgehog. Very cool. If it's not classified artwork, I'd love to see it on the Discord. But no pressure, I know. It's just a warm-up. Oh, the gunshot of destiny. Wait, did you guys hear the gunshot of fate? No, the thing is still... Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know what I have to do. I have to change the... Yep, 4:15 p.m. This is like the latest that I've ever started. I'm very sorry. Gonna be up and running soon, the Hedgehog. Oh, I hate when I have to click this so many times. But we're gonna get through this together. Very sorry. Sam got 3 gifts on Twitch. What does that mean exactly? Koyao says some yard bucks are burning a hole in your pocket. Koyao scooped up the song request. Now Funny Frog is firing some shots, as you are encouraged to do. Give me your worst. Funny Frog says, so instead of making a polished experience, Izuku would rather name 326 different endings. Alright, so Funny Frog, my question for you is, what about this game is unpolished? I'm listening. Yes, and SMB fan is looking for a funny frog in a haystack, not knowing where these comments are coming from. And that's because Funny Frog is over on the YouTube chat. Serious Sam commemorates the 35-year anniversary birthday. No, not that window. This one. We're back in business. I'm really sorry, everyone. Eblo says, some say that Shadow is in Sonic Movie 3, though it's hard to say since no footage of this movie seems to exist. Oh, it exists. So, I saw talk about this on Twitter recently. They have shown some footage of Sonic Movie 3 to, like, at some kind of press event. It was, you know, behind closed doors. It was not a trailer, but it was some scenes. Like, they got to see Eggman. That's all I'll say. I know a little bit more. But all I need to do now is look at this and make sure... Yeah, so I haven't done that route. So if I just go straight, actually, then I'll be fine, right? Because my only goal in this, you know, these playthroughs is just obviously making sure that I did not, I'm not doing a path that I already did.
I hacked into Eggman's database and deleted all the data inside.
Eblo says that sounds fake, like an urban legend. CatCaf Stream says it was deconfirmed.
From the digital realm, but I couldn't confirm the doctor's claims.
The voices still goes, even on this thing. And yeah, CatCaf Streams. Yeah, so I put the live feed on YouTube on my second channel, Alex Yard Adventure. There's not a ton on that channel, but there is some great entity. Alright, so, all I need to do is find the entrance. So I'm going to go ahead and make this an A rank aspiration. Okay, so it's plainly put. Will Alex get an A rank? Go ahead, bet 45 points. If everyone does that, then the pot will be not chump change. Okay, 2 minutes have begun. Alright, now, CatCraft Streams points out that Alex Yard Adventure, and betting is open, everyone, Alex Yard Adventure is not linked on my Twitch or YouTube. And yeah, JJ actually brought it to my attention that the link to the main channel on the second channel was not working, and I did fix that. So I thank you very much, JJ, for bringing that to my attention. However, the reason why I don't actively promote my second channel all that much, you know, and maybe this is changing now that I have the streams, maybe I should promote it. Yeah, I probably should put that on the main channel now. The reason why I didn't up until now is because
I need to hurry to the doctor's base.
There was just really one video. There's pretty much only one video on the channel, and it is a one-of-a-kind experience. Wink, wink. But I've not... Right, I feel dumb telling people, like, hey, check out my second channel, when really, when it comes down to it, what I'm actually saying is, check out this one deep dive video I made. And granted, I think that's a video that, you know, is worth checking out and all. It's just a matter of, I don't know, I don't want to... It just seems lame to plug a channel when there's only one video, and oh, look at all these shadows. What's it called? I'll deal with the spam momentarily. As soon as I deal with these spam shadows. Nice. What's it called? Thank you, JJ. Koyao can't wait for Alex Yard Riders, Alex Yard Schoolhouse, and Alex Yard Dark Brothership. Those are going to be some pretty stacked channels with no content on them. Now, I've been trying... Actually, last night, I tried a couple times to do this... is it the Hero Mission? That's apparently Eggman's ship. And this is one of a few levels in the game... Oh, I gotta hit these enemies. This is one of a few levels in the game where... The mission is you have to destroy a big moving target that has a lot of hit points. And, you know, Lethal Highway. Right, I showed Lethal Highway in the new Music Theory video. Now I'm going to get to skip a bunch of content, because I'm the man. In the Music Theory video, I showed Lethal Highway. And I partly did as a goof because, you know, to kind of poke fun at the fact that when you're trailing that tank and just shooting at it mercilessly, it's just a mess of color because that big blue shield is like emanating ethereal tidbits all over the place. And so I knew full well that people would be like, what the hell is this? But it's part of the game, and it makes sense a little more. Wow, you can skip that whole thing? I'm the man. It makes a lot more sense, you know, when you realize, like, okay, it's not just an entire level of mindlessly mashing your weapon. It's actually a lot more about ammo management. You have to manage ammunition with economy. And you see the amazing, authentic gameplay moment where I'm shooting the tank, chasing it down, and then I see not just crates of weapons, but a gun lying on the ground and a human who possesses a gun of the type of ammo of my weapon. Do the math, guys. Do the math. Acquire ammo. And then, get back into your stride. So that's what I did. Am I going to have to fight Dark Shadows? Whoa, look at this massive weapon. Does Rambo ever use these? SMB fan is looking forward for Alex Yard Frontiers, Alex Yard Mega Collection, and Alex Yard Heroes. Maybe Alex Yard Mega Collection is my greatest hits in the form of YouTube clips. Heavy Weapon Shadow. says Koyao. He's got the ridiculous railgun or whatever.
You will tell me everything.
Wow, I appreciate the kind words. Funny Frog says, I should plug the channel even if it is one video, as that video is one of Funny Frog's favorite videos on the internet. Even if you don't agree with everything said, it shows an underrated part of an amazing game. Well, there you have it. Yeah, I have to wonder, and I really appreciate that, Funny Frog. And I also commend your ability to still get a lot out of the video, regard it as one of your favorites, even if you don't agree with anything, right? Some people found something they disagreed with, and they were ready to condemn me wholesale. Super Rayman is looking out for Alex Yard Gems collection. It better not have the emulated version of the Lava Reef video with only the US soundtrack.
Doctor, please, I need to know. Those androids.
And yes, SMB fan had previously shared us. Oh, what rank did I get?
What?
Quick YouTube rewind. Love it. Alright, I got an A. I'm the man. It was A, confirms. Eblo. It was a what? I'm just kidding me. Alright. There were some major points on the table, but ultimately, they go to SMV fan. Way to go. Alright, I'm not going to do a boss battle wager. Why can't I click on the button of Destiny? Yeah, sorry, JJ, if you have a moment, I got to christen some new moderators. So that more good people can be, you know, be able to step in and, yeah. Eblo, you want to be a mod? Koyao? Ghostaberb? No pressure. There's a button right here I can click on. You passed your interview. I'm offering you the job right now. Oh, where am I going? I'm so excited about new mods. Jumping off cliffs. Alright, is this a good boss battle? Now, what's my pitch for being a moderator? Here are the responsibilities. Nothing. You have literally no obligations or responsibilities. What are the benefits? Status, cool kid points, and the ability to lay down the law if need be. But being a moderator, you know, if you like to play video games while listening to my streams, yeah, don't be worried about, you know, like, oh, now watching streams is going to be a hassle because I have to stop playing my game or drawing or whatever it is. Eblo says benefits. Pressuring regular users to accept your opinions. Why, do some moderators at other Twitch channels kind of let things go to their head and they think that they have the final word on gaming opinions? Oh, I have a courtesy railgun. Look how fast the bar is going down. Wow. I'm so good at this game. Interesting. Eblo says that's a general thing with moderators. Probably since the dawn of the internets. But everybody here is cool, though. So yeah, no pressure to accept everybody. Maybe I should have asked that question off stream. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I died. David Lawrence is in the house to say World War III. Do you think that the narrative of Shadow the Hedgehog is a metaphorical allegory for the upcoming World War III? Which I think is going to be playing... Oh, interesting. So Eggman can destroy the turret guns. I wonder if it will, like, replenish? Interesting. So I can use the railgun, the turret, I should say. Or I can use the rocket. Or I can jump off the edge. Wall jumping on the side. On the way out. I don't even have a weapon. There should be a second turret gun. Ooh, I see it. Yeah, I guess the moderators of the constructionist, you know, Reddit or whatever, they laid down the law pretty hard, stifling dissenting opinions, you know. Alright, so Ghost of Burp says, you'd be concerned because of your work-sleep schedule. You don't know if that would get in the way. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was talking about, is that there's no responsibilities. Like, being a moderator, at least for the Alex Yard Zone, being a moderator has no, like, being present requirement. Like, it's not like, uh-oh, Alex is going live, so I have to stay awake. I have to stop what I'm doing to pay it, right? It's really, my thought is, it's really only to just empower you to have the ability to do it in case you're already here and able to do it. Like, yeah. So there's no attendance requirement for moderators. You know, and even JJ, who's in a lot of cases, you know, working on his game during the stream, even JJ is actually not technically required to step in. And that's probably why I'm inclined to get some new mods. Yeah, Koyao says, and yeah, so there's other people I could ask too. It was very impulsive of me to ask live on the air. I suppose I did it out of a desire to fix the problem that we just had a couple minutes ago, you know. So, live on the air, anything goes. Yeah, Eblo says, the gist here is that the zone needs more people to delete spam. Because there's no requirement for all the existing peeps to glue their eyes to the chat at all times. Yeah, exactly. Right. If you're a mod, not only are you not required to attend, you know, every minute of a stream, also, when you're here, you're not required to keep your eye on chat. You know, I could, and then, yeah, Rowboat is, suggesting that he can join, and yeah, we can definitely talk about that, Rowboat. Make sure you're in good standing with following the community rules before you're gonna enforce them. Alright, Ghosterberg would be happy to help then. Yeah, so there's literally any downside you might think of, it's not actually a concern. At least that I can think of. No obligation to attend any amount of streams. No obligation to monitor the chat. It's just giving you that extra power in case it's useful, and also, you know, as a status boost. You get to go to Sonic conventions and say that you're a moderator for Alex Yard. You'll be working for Sega in no time, people. Alright, I need to fight this boss because Eggman's laser is extremely precise. So what I need to do is use the railguns a lot more mindfully. So I'm going to let him shoot his laser. Oh, he already got one of the railguns? Alright, I'm going to... That's not what I meant to do. I'm going to let him shoot his laser. And then get right in the gun. Ah, he destroys it really fast. It's difficult. But yeah, Koyao said, if no one else will do it, then you'll accept it. Since you're not a patron, so this can be your way to give back to the community. Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, it's such a funny thing that the idea of being a moderator, some people see, and this is to say nothing about Koyao, but some people think of moderatorhood as like, oh, I would love to be a moderator. I would love to have that status, that power. And then other people think of it as like, all right, it's a little bit of unpaid work. That's why I don't think of it as work, because all I'm really doing is giving you the powers with no expectation of, you know, there's never a time where you would be expected to use those powers. It's purely out of convenience. But yeah, I appreciate that, Ghost of Burb. I could even click the button right now. And another thing that I can do that I've been forgetting to do for a while is make it so that moderators can change the category. Again, there would be no expectation. Like, I'm never going to say, Koyao, change the category of the stream. Right? I will never, expect or require that. It just gives any volunteering ability, make it official. Goes to Burbs. Got the LOL Burb, hell yeah. Alright, watch this. Here I am talking through staffing opportunities, when what I should really be focusing on is this glorious turret. So if I'm gonna get him coming down on the parachute. Oh, I'm supposed to move and dodge. Alright, but now he's gonna come on the ground. So is he gonna do, you know what they say, the more the merrier? I love this boss. I think it's so cool. What the hell? I had no rings? Robo says you've been sort of tuned out for the zone for a while, so being a mod would be a good reason to reinvest. Koyao says you need to maybe change your username because of all the times I've said Koyao. Yeah, in my head when I'm saying it, I always, at least am trying to say the first syllable as Koi, as in rhymes with boy, Koyao. But if you're hearing it as Koyao, like cooperative Yao, well, that's simply just not what it is, Alex. Alright, he destroyed the turret. I don't know how that let me destroy him with, I got his hit points down half of the way just with the turret. Because it was like his first laser didn't even work. That's pretty badass. Strafing. Wild descending on a parachute. Did you guys see the new Netlore episode dropped? Cybershell's podcast with Bedhead Bernie, where they talk about internet lore. I'm excited for it. It's about Lotax, the guy who ran Something Awful, and his ongoing conflict with Maddox. Now, I'm curious if any of you watching the stream know about Maddox. Maddox is like, such a perfect thing for Cybershell, to be very acquainted with, given that it was from that, early 2000s internet culture, of which he has a one-of-a-kind insight into. Okay, so Lotax ran Something Awful, but then Maddox was a guy who, I think he just had a blog. It was all just text, but he was like, kind of a crap talker, shit talker. Rated T for teen. He would go on these various rants, and I guess I didn't know that he critiqued children's drawings, which is such a random thing. He was kind of in character. I don't know much about the real Maddox, but the writing was so incredibly, funny and nuanced that you kind of figure out pretty quickly that he's in character. Yes, as Funny Frog explains it. So basically, Alex Yard Zone equals chill and fun. Darn straight. Darn straight. I got a rank D, and it took me like 7 attempts. I'm not proud of it. Yeah, when Pariah695 made Bravia a moderator, he was like, wow, I never had this kind of responsibility before. And I was like, dude, there's no responsibility. You didn't seek out that role. That now does not become your problem, where now you have to adjust your schedule on his nonetheless erratic streaming schedule. I was like, Bravia, if you want to opt in, you know, you want to take the task of being a pariah moderator, that's fine, but that's not an obligation. That's something you choose to do.
You're going straight to the place you created me from.
So, I'm going to be doing, I guess, the neutral mission. All right, sweet. Vector's in on the moderation. Isn't this an incredible opening impression for this level? And I used that in the when I did the breakdown of the different paths and the different keys. All right, Vector Sater's a mod because I clicked the button. Ghostaburb is about to become a mod. And Koya. Yeah. If there were any other opt-ins that I kind of missed, I apologize. I'll, just tell me again. There it is. You guys were here for history. Yeah, Vector says, one of the more memorable levels in the game. Indeed it is. Yeah, I watched a really good and well thought out, well written review of Shadow the Hedgehog. I'll have to find the channel. Yeah, it was just, you know, a deep dive, long form video talking about all sorts of, you know, impressions and analysis. I'm going to be taking the neutral path today because I do want to get in some of the earlier levels. And I don't want to die a lot. Because I think I beat the Dark mission. Eggman's mission is that you have to destroy those engine cores. They're basically engine cores, like in Sonic Heroes. But when you destroy those engine cores, like that's an engine core, okay? If I were to destroy that, then this would fill up with lava. And I would have to take a more difficult route out of this area. Dude, the ring speed, light speed dash works very well in this game. It's definitely more reliable than... Ah, look at the karaoke steps he does, dude. And I gotta do the wager. Serious Sam's got a Mario emote. Alright, so I'll go for... Let me make it a B rank. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a B rank this time. Just to make the betting more, you know, it's like less of a... You know, A rank is hard to pull off, but B, yeah, that's a little more, B or better, in other words. Funny Frog doesn't know much about moderators, but you love to mod Sonic Origins and Generations, if that means anything. I assume that's a bit, but yeah, that's in reference to video game modifications, whereas we're talking about moderators. Which all that really means is that if you're over here on Twitch, and they have moderators on YouTube too, basically moderators are granted... Why did I think there was lava at the bottom of this room? There's another room that's like that, I think. Alright, yeah, Sam would be a mod, but doesn't know how to mod. I can put you in touch with some webinars with training. Yeah, basically, Funny Frog, it gives... Moderators have the ability to fix bad behavior. If someone is saying something bad in chat, you know, spam or bad words, or... you can, yeah, just get them on out of there and remove their misconduct like it never happened. Except for those who witnessed it. Oh god. I love this game. It's great that there's such elements. I was gonna say, well, Black Doom is from this game originally and is definitely in Shadow Generations. What I don't know off the top of my head is... anything in this life. Have they revealed specifically a level from Shadow the Hedgehog 05 this game? Alright, Funny Frog was doing a bit. I figured you were, but now I know for sure. Oh god. Now David Lawrence says press down on the directional pad. Technically I just did and nothing happened. What do you have to say for yourself, David Lawrence? I'm just kidding, David Lawrence. David Lawrence maybe saw my new music theory video and heard me incorrectly state that while playing, when the game automatically switches you to the dark mission, you have to manually pause to switch back to the hero mission. This is not true, Alex Yard. Don't you touch it. That's not true, Alex Yard. Press the D-pad. All your problems are solved.
Doctor, at last.
So I was factually inaccurate when I said that. Vector says, if you're a mod, it sure doesn't look like it. Well, I can see the moderator sword icon next to your username. So maybe you have to, like, close and reopen the stream, possibly.
Nice to see you, Shadow Android.
Lola Loud Gaming over on YouTube says, Sonic Heroes, question mark? And my answer to that is that I absolutely love that game so much. I streamed it this week, and I got an A rank. So let's pay out the A victory. And hey, what's up, Tep Music? Yeah, now Koyao is trying to figure out how to change the channels category. I think I have to activate that myself. So actually, if somebody reminds me, like maybe during the gaming hangout portion of the stream when I'm not like playing a game. Yeah, that's weird, Vector Sater, that you're not seeing an icon. Like when you look at your own name in chat, there's no icon next to your name, Vector Sater. Because I can see it next to Vector and Koyao and Ghostaburb and JJ. I mean, JJ confirmed the moderatorship. This is such a cool boss. I love it. And I love how this game has a pretty generous radius in places for the homing attack. It applies to enemies and bosses, where you can be, you know, a pretty big distance away. Certainly compared to most Sonic games. And you'll still watch from here, right? That doesn't happen in other Sonic games. But I think it's fully appropriate and not broken. Now with this, I assume you can only get 2 attacks. One here. And then you meet him on the other side. And go... boop. Yeah, I don't think I can get him in time. Because, yeah, that second usage drains the meter just about completely. Stop that. They're like siblings fighting. Alright, Vector Sater doesn't see it. Yeah, Vector, if you... oh, no, I fell. I was... hey, we're all pals here. And this isn't a wager. Eevee Boy's wondering about serious topics. Yeah, it's not super serious, but it is something that's been going on that I'd like to at least talk about a little. Get my impressions out there in the airwaves of a music theory situation going on. Yeah, interesting. EB Boy says the new update to the app is straight up awful. Alright, Leela Loud can now see that this is Shadow the Hedgehog. But I don't blame you for the confusion because this game uses Sonic Heroes engine. And both games are good. Interesting. Koyao is watching on a desktop, and you were prompted to open up moderator view. Yeah, I'd never even maybe myself seen moderator view. But yeah, Vector says this poop sucks. What, not being able to see, and get your moderator powers to keep out the evildoers? Yeah, if you always watch on a phone, I wonder if it would work on a desktop. That could be, especially if the app was recently updated. Yeah, EB Boy, we had at least 2 mods, maybe 3, get christened today. Alright, Vector Sater has been a mod on other channels, and has had no problem whatsoever exercising those powers on mobile. Yeah, so I'm not sure why it's doing that, Vector. Hopefully it works, by the time it's the next stream. Shadow Fever. You're in trouble, Ivo. Yeah, Ghost of Burb says, what baffles you about mobile is that subs are more expensive. Now, the idea of getting different prices depending on the platform, that's not too surprising for me. But for the specifics of Twitch, I'm trying to think, like, why does Twitch have it so that you have a bigger incentive to go on desktop? I'm really not sure. Like, what would Twitch have to gain? Right, it's kind of like when you go to a place like Pizza Hut and you see those signs that say, the best deals live online. And that's because the regular price ordering on the website or the app is way lower than what you would pay if you just literally walk into the Pizza Hut and say, I'd like this pizza, like more than $5 more for just a large pizza. So a situation like that makes perfect sense to me because it costs so much less for Pizza Hut to have the automated system do the work that they want to incentivize people to use the app so that they'll get more used to it. And then once everyone is used to it, they can just fire all of their human workers. But what would the equivalent logic for that be on Twitch? I'm really not sure. I beat the game. Eblo noticed a few new swords.
Sorry, Doctor.
Wow, so Ghost of Burb says... interesting. So EB Boy says, you think it's the App Store tax. Well, there you go. That makes perfect sense. There you go. So if, yeah, so I wonder... Now I'm wondering if it's standardized between, like, maybe the Apple Store versus, I don't know, the Google Play Store. Whoa, Sam says...
Finally, I've got all
A Twitch sub at tier 3 is $25. Yeah, I thought that was
This is how you repay me?
I am Shadow and
I thought it was like 15. I wouldn't have expected the price to jump up that much. And before I answer Funny Frog's Bravia question the hour about who's my favorite Robotnik, because I have an answer.
This is who I am.
This is who Shadow is. And then Vector is saying, this is who I am. So why isn't the mod giving these powers that accurately reflect who I am?
Doctor.
Eggy got hurt. Ghostaburb says you're subbed to 3 people. You subbed to me and someone else on desktop. But the third person you subbed to was on mobile. Okay, and you're saying you always get charged more, right? So even when it renews the following month automatically, it's still charging you that higher rate. I wonder, Ghostaburb, if you let that sub lapse and then resubscribed on desktop, would that maybe solve the problem? Waking up. Now, a few people in the comments mentioned this song. Alright, EB Boy says, you know it is for other apps? Yes, standardized. Now, Third Bruno says, you wonder if you can sub to the patron-only channel. Probably overkill, though. Well, the patron-only channel, I don't think that has ads. Do you guys get ads? I guess I thought I turned off ads on the patron-only channel. Yeah, Third Bruno, would that be to avoid ads or just, you know, to contribute more to the zone? But alright. Waking up, drinking tea, do crosswords, go to bed. Alright, now we're gonna find out the name of the path that I just did. You ready for this? Iron Ambition. Good night, everybody. Okay, so, yeah. So, see how 308 was Metallic Quickening. Okay. 304. So, what's 306? So, 306... Wait, did I do this zigzag? Alright, 306 has got to be the same path I just did, but the last level is one lower. But anyway. Let's start a new mission. So I actually might go ahead and just do this. I'm gonna go for 306. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 306. Alright, Ghostaburb doesn't think, you remember, yeah, so that sounds right. I think I disabled ads for the patron-only streams. Alright, so now I'm going to Westopolis, or actually about half of the Sonic community would have you call it Westopolis. That's all I'm saying. Alright, I'm going for an A rank, no excuses, Westopolis, hero mission. Betting is now open, everybody. So because I started a little bit late, like by 15 minutes, sorry, I'm going to play a little bit past 5 p.m. I'll do at least 2 levels because I love Lethal Highway so much. And if you guys are honestly going to be able to tolerate not playing the Circus Park level with Mariko Nanba music, Tails character presence, and bouncy balls. Here we go. Alright, so Funny Frog said, who is my favorite Robotnik? Alright, first I gotta admit that I don't have the lineage of voice actors down perfectly. Like, at this point in my Sonic career, I think I can pretty confidently, and there's only, 3 voice actors for Sonic in English. There's only one in Japanese, I'm told. Does that count for all spin-offs and side mission games? One voice actor? And also, when he goes to conventions, is there a line around the block? Actually, probably not, because Sonic is not even really as big a deal in Japan. Nice job, Shadow. You have brakes to slam on. Better yet, hold R to instantly start strafing. My man. Dun, dun. Did any of you seek out that see also notation at the very end of the music theory video? Because if you didn't finish watching the video. I'm just kidding, man. On some level, but seriously. If you go seek out that great song, it's a cover done by Rage Against the Machine. The original song is by the Rolling Stones. But what's funny is that the thing that Jun Senoue utilized was actually Rage Against the Machine's contribution. It was something that Rage Against the Machine, changed and added to the song Street Fighting Man by the Rolling Stones. And it's a beauty to behold. See, what you have there is people following the proper policies and procedures about getting inspired by other music, having it affect your own original compositions without, ripping off the source inspiration. Oh, okay. So Funny Frog says, sorry, you actually meant... Alright, so I probably could give a much better answer to that, because the question was not about the voice actors, but rather about, the actual characters. So, right off the bat, I'm trying to think of how many Robotniks I know, and is it even more than 3? Because the 3 I can think of are Ivo, Gerald, and Maria. We can assume that there are other members of that family tree, right? Because Gerald would have had to have had at least one child, who then procreated to create the ultimate life form, Maria. Eblo says Snively. Now, is that from the cartoons? No, Snively, is that from the comics, actually? I can't even remember who Snively is. Is that Sonic's henchman or Greek chorus in the comics or something? Alright, Eblo and others say both. So he's the number 2 consigliere. If I pronounced that correctly? Consigliere? I don't know how to say it. You're number 2. As they say on Game of Thrones, the hand of the king. Dude, Game of Thrones gives itself the biggest... I don't want to use a T for teen word, but... Game of Thrones relishes a little bit too much in using the phrase, the hand of the king. Oh my god, the hand of the king, it's such an honor. Oh my god, Game of Thrones. Shout out to the House of the Dragon. Alex G watches it, which is fine by me. But I do have my critiques of vanilla Game of Thrones. Ooh, wait. Alright. EB Boy says, okay, that Snively is basically Dr. Stone before Dr. Stone and minus the lattes. What does it mean to be an Agent Stone without lattes? I hope Agent Stone... I really hope that Agent Stone... I hope that Agent Stone turns good. I hope that he has a Dumbledore arc. You know how Dumbledore was gay and he was romantically attached to Grindelwald, and that romantic attachment was maybe partly why Dumbledore was willing to entertain a new worldview about Muggle subservience. But once Grindelwald crossed the line, he put his romantic attachments aside, beat him in a duel, and the rest was it. He left him in the rearview mirror. So I am now officially predicting that will happen to Agent Stone. We already pretty much know he's totally has a massive crush on Eggman, Dr. Robotnik. But since he's such a lovable, cool, fan favorite character, I can't really see him descending further into evil, you know? Changed my mind. Eevee Boy said I missed a soldier. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, actually I missed what... Alright, so Funny Frog actually has an even bigger list of Robotniketeers. Let me kill these last 3 black creatures. And that's a wrap. That's all of them. Alright, so you got Gerald, Ivo, and Maria, sure. Now you say the Gun Commander. The Gun Commander, is that the guy, is that the official name of the guy that has the 2 different color eyes? Uh-oh, B rank. I tried. I failed. Nice. Catcraft Streams is excited for a stream tomorrow to discuss Sonic Shadow Generations. Very cool. Many hype. Eblo says this run doesn't count. Don't pay the wager yet. What do you mean, Eblo? As far as I know, that was a genuinely failed wager. And I'm ready to pay out those winnings to JJ. He might be simultaneously developing his game, but that's not going to stop him from, you know, winning wagers. Now Sam had said... Oh, you got a... What is this place? Knuckles Emo? Is that from the JJ Zone? Now, Funny Frog... Yeah, so this guy... Is this guy's canon name the Gun Commander? Because I don't know if he's... what he says about Maria is she was like a sister to me. But I don't know if he was cousins in the meantime. Yeah. Funny Frog is saying that you could count Shadow, but that would mean the Bio-Lizard is Robotnik. And you're also saying technically Sage. Honestly, I think that if the Bio-Lizard wouldn't count, then neither would Sage. Sage is an artificial life form. Eblo's whole bit was that the run didn't count. Don't pay it out yet, because the result is not what Eblo voted for. Alright, Eblo says that the 2 eyes color guy is just some random kid on the Ark. What, in an exchange program? Foreign exchange student. Go live on the Ark for a semester. Learn about space amoeba. JJ knows who his favorite Gerald voice actor is, and he's looking in the mirror right now. Now, I never got to that on-screen bit. Sorry that there's no bits last week or this week, but yeah. Might as well at least plug now. I'll still show that bit the next time I do bits, but yeah, JJ posted what is essentially a radio play starring Gerald. JJ as Gerald. Alex Yard with a modest cameo as a gun soldier. And it's a philosophical deep dive into all of Sonic CD's special stages. And all I can say is, what a concept. You could watch that right now. I can't wait until I get to the moment where it was in the music theory video, where I was chasing this jerk, pounding away at his defenses. Okay, but then I see the ammo crates on the... Oh! Fell down. I don't usually fall down here. Oh, and I gotta do a new wager. Oh, Eblo was looking to know who Grindelwald is. You mean you haven't read all the Harry Potter books 3 times over, cover to cover, like I have? Alright. No, it's fine if you didn't. Did I get my A rank, though? No, I did. Wait. No, because Eblo bet... Eblo bet that I would win, right? Do 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 do. Yeah, it was a B. False alarm, true alarm. Pay out the anti-success wager. Okay, interesting. Funny Frog says that in-game, the gun commander... Well, you're saying that in the comics, the gun commander has a more official name. Now, is it... Do they... I know the comics, I'm pretty sure they're just not canon. However, that doesn't mean they're not worth considering, at least. Alright, so this is now Lethal Highway Hero Mission. I'm trying to destroy the tank of Justice Evil. And I'm going to do so toot sweet. Oh, okay, now, sorry I missed the on-screen bits. Yeah, I was saying, no on-screen bits this week, but Ghost of Bird says, oh, I'll give you on-screen bits. Sorry I missed that. That's great. Eblo read every book, and you don't remember that name anywhere. So it's only in the last book. And Grindelwald, you know, it was confusing at first. At first, I thought that Dumbledore killed Grindelwald, but he actually defeated him in a duel, which is confusing, because I would almost think that that means, you know, a duel is a fight to the death. But it turns out that it was not a fight to the death between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. It was actually just a duel, and I guess at the end of it, Grindelwald said, all right, Uncle, I give up. Go away. And they just never... But I think Voldemort actually was the one to finally end Grindelwald's life, but I'll have to check the wiki. Yes, now Sam points out that that in the Fantastic Beasts movies, yes, they start to flesh out more of that kind of backstory. And you actually... I think I started to watch it and just had it on. I couldn't... As much as I like Jessica Williams as an actress... she was doing that Futurama, step right down to the brave future of the 1940s. Oh my god. You know, that, like, big band announcer, cheesy, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I think early on in that movie, it's a scene of Dumbledore and Grindelwald, you know, sharing a meal at a restaurant and having a very tense disagreement. Oh, is this the spot from the music theory video? Here it is. So I'm going to get all 4 guns. I need his ammo. Listen, this is what Shadow... This is who Shadow is. And then seamlessly entering into a strafe. My man. Dun, dun. If you haven't looked up that Rage Against the Machine song, then you have only experienced 95% of the music theory video. Is Shadow's different... Is Shadow's music different from Sonic's? Almost definitely. Funny Frog wonders, could you imagine how awkward a Robotnik family reunion would be if Maria and Gerald were still alive? You don't think they'd have a ton to talk about? Hey, I got an A rank.
Perfect.
But yeah, Eevee Boy confirms that the comics continuity is separate from the games, but they're still canon. JJ says, yes, it is. I forgot what it is, and it depends on what the meaning of is. Remember that Bill Clinton pull quote from the golden age of life?
Or else.
Yeah, Eblo says, Voldemort could have been stopped so much sooner if someone had just used the killing curse on him. Bunch of wussies.
But I'm not here to
Oh, yes, okay. Is Shadow's music different from Sonic? JJ confirms.
So why don't you just
Yes.
back off?
Yes, it is. Oh, most definitely. I wonder, so that Arrested Development clip featuring the... so the man inside the banana stand was the absolute king legend and inspiration to me, Patrice O'Neal. who was a stand-up comedian, and he had some acting going on here. But when I tell you that that person is a powerhouse of, you know, commentary, analysis, you know, cultural commentary on men and women relationships, race relations. If you're starved for content, you ought to look up, right? So I didn't even realize this until now. This is crazy that it was a subliminal connection. So the main reason, the main context that I heard all of Patrice O'Neal's absolutely incredible and absolutely hilarious in the meantime, you know, commentary was through the Opie and Anthony show, which was a radio show for many, many years. Kind of Howard Stern adjacent in a way, pushing the boundaries of what's appropriate, pushing the envelope, no taboos, right? There's no Kelly Clarkson show taboos. So anyway, Patrice O'Neal, the guy who said, oh, most definitely, he was a frequent guest, and not even a guest, he would just sit in on the entire 4-hour show. Guys, they did a 4-hour show 5 days a week. Amazing. Now what I need to do very quickly is get this gun and then freeze time and then shoot him many times, because as JJ rightfully pointed out, I have, as Solid Snake would say, infinite ammo. Evie Boy says, that's how much I work. Well, that's how much Evie Boy works. How much you... 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, that's what, a 20-hour work week? I don't mean it in terms of raw hours, but it's pretty impressive that they were able to talk, right? Just them making noise with their mouths with no visual component, you know, 4 hours of entertainment every day, weekday anyway. Yeah, I found the president. Pretty sure I nabbed the A rank on the tank, right? I don't typically screw up Lethal Highway these days. Especially because it has the endless mine motif. We're going to see the M-Flow picture on the desk. There they are. There's the line of a generation. Member. Alright, so let me pay out the success wager. Alright, being that that was 15 minutes, I think we're ready to gear up for Encore mode. Especially if JJ is. What do you say, JJ the Hedgehog? Unless JJ is in the middle of an engaging game of Parcheesi. Alright, JJ's ready to go. So let's leave Shadow to find that damn 4th emerald. Well, after which he's... This is so amazing. I just want to look at it and listen to it. Is that Tornado 3 logo supposed to look like Shenmue 3 logo? Ghostaburb certifies he said the thing.
This is just too easy. Guess it's my lucky day.
Which is fine by me. It being easy. Not the candy stealage. Look, he's probably talking about the candy stealage, but grammatically... Sam wants to know if Shenmue 3 is good. I've heard mostly negative things about it. I don't know if Polar Wildcat Studios has any reconnaissance done about the quality of Shenmue 3. Yeah, I've heard it's a mess and a disappointment. But what's not a mess or disappointment is Sonic Mania's Encore mode. Are you guys ready for these alternate color palettes? They will charm you. They will cheer you up.
Dropped has got to be around here somewhere.
Alright, EB Boy has heard that there was indeed a Shenmue Easter egg in this game. Now, of course, Shenmue 3 had not yet been made way back when Shadow 05 came out. Oh, and JJ, if you are still at all struggling with green screen woes, I think I came up with a solution to my green screen. You notice, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's been any green screen tomfoolery green gas. And all I did was I had the thought to, instead of just put one color key filter, I did two. So each of the two color key filters has a slightly different shade of green. So the first filter gets most of it, and the second one gets the rest. That meme where he points at his head because he's smart. Alright, sweet. JJ's green screen is flawless. I'm the only one with issues. Alright, JJ's got that there LED light bulb setup. Polar Wildcat actually recently revisited Shenmue 1. You had that for Dreamcast back in the day. That's what we call a legit gamer. Alright, as I send you over to the waiting zone to set up for Mania, I'm going to answer Funny Frog's question. Do I think Yes, I think on a daily basis. Ignore the countdown. I'm just kidding, man. Funny Frog says, do I think that all U.S. presidents have a picture of Sonic and Shadow on their desk? Well, I know that Trump did, but because Biden is snoozing his way through his legacy, he might have forgotten to put the photo on the desk. EB Boy says, because the Shenmue creator left Sega, they couldn't use the Virtua Fighter engine that they had used for 1 and 2. You heard the fighting was worse because of it. Interesting. I find it difficult to fathom that a 20-year-old engine would even be on the table as an option, right? I will never understand engines and why these game development studios so frequently make a new, and it damages my spirit to think about the 2 years that Evening Star took to make an engine with no foresight of what it would be used for. I'll stop ranting. I gotta set up for Mania. Wow, JJ says Prime 4 runs on pretty much the same engine as Prime 1. I mean, that's cool. So yeah, more devs should do that way. So yeah, today's competition is actually a speed run. Yeah, don't fix what is not broken. I assume that's what Funny Frog meant. You forgot the word not. There it is. Don't fix what isn't broken, the Hedgehog. I'm gonna open up Discord so I can get JJ the Hedgehog's live surveillance feed. I'm gonna see which color palette he's on, so I'll know if I have to kick myself into gear to, catch up. You mean at all times, Alex? You're not trying to catch up? Now listen here. Vector says NIH, what's that, National Institute of Health, is a very Japan thing you've observed. Or at least back in the day. Yeah, what's NIH? Okay, not invented here. And what does that mean? Not invented here? Doo-doo. Yeah, now JJ says so what JJ said is kind of where my mind went. But before elaborating on that, Vector says a tendency to avoid external resources, hence reinventing the wheel. What I can at least take from that, Vector, what I figured out is you mean that they want to do everything themselves. They don't want to use a Unity engine or license an engine. They want to do it themselves. Is that so? They reinvent the wheel? If that's the case, I guess I just don't know why it's called Not Invented Here. I would think it's Yes Invented Here. We made our own engine. Did you guys watch Spontman's new video? I want your honest impressions. I listened to a little bit of it so far, and I think he was bashing Sonic 1 8-bit, so I had to bail out. I was like, let me watch the rest of this later. Let me go play Sonic 1 8-bit, remind myself how good it is. Ah, you can see the end of the clip. You've been seeing that the whole time, Jays. Sam wonders if I paid out the last wager. I sure did, Serious Sam. Mario White, Bruno Mars, Hat Kid. Nothing to do with Third Bruno. It's just messing around. Yeah, and listen, much love to Stuntman, definitely, but that should not stop us from, an honest, response to his reviews and commentary. JJ says he can tell Stuntman plays a game like it's an assignment and moves on. It's a little saddening, yeah. And we kind of talked about that a little bit when we looked at, I think maybe his Sonic Heroes review. That was one of the things that came up where I'm like, do you have any examples of what you're claiming? And he said, oh no, with YouTube, time is money, you gotta keep putting out videos, so I didn't have time to do... Okay, so that... Look, and I'll say this right now, as if Stuntman was here, I'm ready for him to reveal that he's present in chat at any time. So, on the assumption that he might hear this, it's like, well, let me put it in the most compassionate terms possible. If you can't take the necessary amount of time to figure out what a game is, then yeah, I'm going to be a little bit suspect of your commentary and your critiques. Alright, here's JJ's feed. I found it, baby. All is well. Oh, but it's cropped. One of these days, I am finally going to figure out a seamless... Can I make it? I have to undo the crop. It's not the end of the world or anything, but I really want to get this going. So let me push away the mic so I can really focus on finishing this setup in like 2 minutes. Go grab a pretzel. Oh, wow. JJ says, hold Alt while dragging to crop with ease. Oh, man, I'm, a little devastated that I am only learning about that now. I could have used that, right? But I thank you, JJ, because now, forever, I'm going to save myself the infuriating task of manually, holding up on the arrow in the field. Where's Alt? Dude, look at that crop. I can't believe I didn't even have the thought to, ask JJ or, Google search, is there a seamless way to crop? Well, Now I have this knowledge forever, JJ, so I thank you very much. Now, Evlo is ready to declare this. I'ma say it. Encore mode isn't fun. Well, I'm all ears, Evlo. I wonder why Encore mode is so below true mode. What's the harm? I love the colors. I love the format of, instead of lives, it's the number of pals you got on deck. And also the limitation of, like, you can't switch to any character at any time. I'm gonna go ahead and open up Steam. Yeah, Ghost of Burb has a whole lot of love for Mighty and Ray, so it makes you quite happy. That's kind of where I'm at. Dude, JJ is teasing an Encore mode for AS2R. I like the sound of that. Nanba. Alright, Steam is opening. Mania will be open soon. It's Sonic Mania Day. Never mind. Nice. Sam is now certifiedly having Apple TV Plus due to the tie-in promotion. Here, why don't I just uglily come on camera, even though the game's not ready. Welcome to my Blackboard. No audio? Alright, now we got audio. But no video yet. Dun 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 dun. Hey, this song should sound familiar to anyone that watches my YouTube channel. And it's always an honor to be able to introduce you guys to awesome new music. You're welcome. My scouting services are, invaluable. YouTube channel. Do I even? Yeah, I think I have to do not full screen. What if I did 4x screen? No, there's only 3x. 3x it is, guys. Cope. But at least I'll do borderless full screen. Alright, let's bring in Mania the Hedgehog. It's about time. But now where's Alex? Here, man. Alright, I think we should just go. I don't think I need to step away. I hope I don't eat those words. But yeah, JJ wonders if Apple TV even has anything worth watching. Yeah, Severance, I was saying before, does look really awesome. But outside of that, like Ted Lasso, I have no desire to watch that. With Jason Sudeikis. Alright, focus, Alex. You're so close. You're gonna win the game. Why is this not a perfect size? Oh, no, it is a perfect size. Alright, perfect. Alright. Why is there no audio? Why is there no audio? Oh. All I can think to do is reopen the game, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that very quickly. Nice. Sam reports that Severance is getting a season 2. Yeah, sorry, what do you mean, JJ DOA? Oh, yeah, and thank you, Ghost of Burb. I'll go ahead and update the category now. Alright. Sonic Mania or Plus? Alright, Plus doesn't have a separate listing, which I think is the right way to do it. Oh, okay. EB Boy says that there's a new show about Abraham Lincoln coming. And JJ says, Abraham Lincoln show. Boom. Dead. Too soon. So I tell you what, I am going to use a timer just in case it becomes relevant. It may not, but it may, yes. Oh, the timer already started. I'm behind. I'm just kidding, man. Alright, so I will pause the timer, bring it back to the start. Alright. So... And yeah, EB Boy, I am going to fix that so that moderators can change the streaming category. Especially if someone reminds me. Alright, I'm just going to do a new file. Is that chemical plant? Screw it. Oh, hell yeah. Funny Frog certifies that right now, your favorite streamer is playing your favorite game of all time. Wow. Well, you better go watch it, because I don't know how much longer GameXplain is going to be streaming Mario Kart 8, and that's your favorite, right? I'm just kidding, man. Shout out to Serious Sam. That's very nice of you to say that, Funny Frog. Let's encore. And, alright, yeah, so thank you, JJ. JJ says, love the audience crossover at times. If you're ready to go, JJ, I'll start the countdown. Let me know if you're not ready ASAP. Alright, thank you, JJ. JJ's ready to go. So I'm going to type in chat now. Okay, and not on one, but on go, as is tradition. Oh, but I have to start the wager, my god. Okay, so there's going to be, it's just who will win. So this is up to Stardust Speedway. And who will win the speed run to Stardust Speedway? I'm going to put Stardust Speed because I ran out of characters and it's micro funny. Alright, so you're going to have 30 minutes to bet. Now, once you place a bet, you can't change your bet, but you can add more to your existing bet. So you can't switch outcomes, and you cannot reduce your bet, but you can increase it even after you've played it. Alright, so if you think JJ's going to win, you place a bet for JJ, and then, 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, wow, I really think JJ's going to win. If betting is still open, you could go for it. Alright, 30 minutes has begun. Wait till you see the exact wording on the wager. And yes, Eblo, it's just time. So it's who will you win at the instant you get the final hit on the Stardust Speedway? Yeah, Stardust Speedway boss. So it's 6 zones. Right. As JJ says. Oh, so yeah, you do have to play Stardust Speedway. So right when we finish the run and we're just sitting here, we will see Sonic standing at the start of Hydrocity, much like he kind of was in the new Shadow video. It was so awesome to include that menu Hydrocity, when he does the Batman swoop down. Alright, I'm going to start the countdown now. In chat, there's 3, there's 2, there's 1. Go! Clicks back to the first menu. Alright, and I'll start the timer. Me and Koyao heard a whole lot of that sound playing Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart this past weekend. Because we did a whole bunch of encore modes of the racetracks. And dude, as JJ knows too, some of those, so in Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, it has Encore mode for a lot. Technically, it has it for all of them. But on top of that, basically Encore mode is a mirror image. Oh, and I gotta move JJ's screen off to the side a touch, while not interrupting my progress. We're both on the same results screen. Eblo. Oh, I didn't choose Ray. I wasn't thinking. Alright, I'll have to earn Ray. JJ chose Ray because he's smart and on top of things. Alright, we're moving. Oh, Mighty. Alright, so I do need to use Mighty. This is awesome move. He doesn't get hurt by spikes. Dude, the way Mighty, when he hits the spikes, doesn't get hurt, his animation pose when he's like bouncing off of it is so badass. I love it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, so Koyao, if I got distracted, I was saying that, yeah, in Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, not only is there Encore mode for every track, but most of the Encore modes actually have their own color palette, much like this. Look at this evening green hill. This is so awesome. Whoever idea this was should get a promotion. They should get a promotion, and they should not be lowballed by Sega when in talks to develop another game. I wonder if... What's it called? Headcanon? Headcanon minus, you know, no Christian Whitehead for Sonic 3 Origins. It's just headcanon. Not to blow up his spot or anything, but I wonder if he accepted a pretty lowball figure to do the Origins Sonic 3. Since Sega was willing to attempt to lowball Christian, it would seem. Yeah, now Koyal makes the good point that Sunset Hill was already a thing, but some people can't deal with the music of Sunset Hill. That's the Sonic Advance 3 level, right? That even has a Green Hill remix. To not have to worry about losing rings. So does that mean you can cheese bosses? Yeah, I guess so. But it comes at a risk. Sam says Nintendo might sue an AI company. I think I might have seen a little bit of a Spawn Wave headline. Is there some kind of Nintendo strike going on that somehow has to do with AI, or I don't know. I bet Sam knows, though. Oh, look at this cool kid zipline. Dude, so one thing I never told you guys is that I had the greatest grandfather of all time. Like, he was the GOAT of grandpas. I actually called him Pepe. I never called him Grandpa. Pepe was... Meme and Pepe. Oh, is what we always got. Okay. But I had the GOAT Pepe, Grandpa. And it was certified because I got him a mug that said, greatest grandfather ever. So, you can't dispute it. Alright. One slice of evidence of why he was a GOAT grandfather, Pepe, was because when I was very young, he created in our backyard a zip line. So not only, he had already made us a treehouse, but then he further made it even more epic and cool by installing a zip line. So the treehouse was up in the air, and you could exit it by climbing down the ladder or by riding the zip line down. It was so amazing. And the zip line ended up at the swing set. So, you know, you have this great... Uh-oh, JJ's at Chem Plant. Now, should I try fighting him underneath? Because... Oh, wow. Are Eggman's spiky hands... Mighty is immune to the spiky hands of that boss. Does JJ know about this? And for that matter, Cyber Shell? Dude, the fact that Mighty's abilities even affect boss battles, this is where I'm saying. Mania Encore mode, it's no joke. Interesting. EB Boy says some of those Encore tracks in Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, you even prefer to the original. Yeah, so the Ice Cap track in Sonic Robo Blast 2 Kart, which is a great level in itself, when you play it in Encore mode, it becomes like Christmas. It's like a green and red color screen. It's almost like Ice Cap Gardens. It's so damn cool. And I just said the word damn, which I have every license to do because the game I played earlier today had the word damn. I don't know if any cutscene had the word damn. I'm paying attention. Ghost of Burb certifies the F yeah. Uh-oh. I've been playing as Mighty this whole time. I gotta get some Ray because if I don't, then JJ's gonna keep using the flying ability to his great advantage. Oops. Polar Wildcat had also said that Mighty is easier for you than Ray. Interesting. Why? Is it because of the spike defense, where you're immune to spikes? And you had also said Sonic 4, I think, has a Sunset Hill level, doesn't it? I know it has a Splash Hill. I don't know if Episode 1 or 2 has Sunset content, or if it's like Act 3 of Splash Hill has a nice sunset color scheme or whatever. Evie Boy says, no wonder Alex loves Home Alone so much. Now, did I ever say that I liked Home Alone? Because I don't think I have. But I'll say it now that there was a while where I really liked Home Alone 2. And I liked 1, but Home Alone 2, all the pranks and traps and contraptions in that, like, I thought that was so cool. And it was almost like I was young enough that watching that movie was actually a little bit scary. But I liked it in part because it was very scary to me, the idea that you would be, well, alone in New York, and you'd have these criminals trying to break into your house. Wow, and did you see that projectile just bounced off of Mighty like it was no one's business? Uh-oh. Now can I... Oh, courtesy thing. Thank you, Sega. Thank you, contractors working under Christian Whitehead. Wow, did those platforms move differently? Alright, at least JJ's not at the Mean Machine boss yet. King Moly is in the house certifying that Home Alone 2 is the best in the series. Yeah, and then I think they did a direct-to-video Home Alone 3. And I think my stance on that was like, well, this is definitely a step down from Home Alone 1, but not bad enough to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Alright, EB Boy says that Saving Grace platform underwater, the steps that got me back up, is actually there in the original game. I don't know about that. Because that specific, right, that very infamous specific spot, in the original game, there's a platform moving back and forth, but in this game, I don't know if that's even unique to Encore mode. I actually don't know off the top of my head to what extent, if at all, Encore mode changes not just the color palette, but also... I guess I thought that maybe there was some level design tweaks. And that's the kind of thing that I wouldn't put past them. To change it from a moving platform to instead, you know, a series of panels that flip away. Vector says they're just not numbered. Oh, right. So Vector Sater says that there is actually a Home Alone 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, but they didn't, they were not canonical numbers. Yeah, after 3. 3 was, you know, the step down. They're like, let's not add insult to injury. Let's take the numbers off at least so people can understand that these are less important offshoots. Ghost of Burb thinks there's one, but then there's a second one that doesn't have. That's probably about the, that saving grace set of steps. One of these things, but underwater. I wonder if the game was suggesting that off to the right, there was one of those sticky panels. Now, Eevee Boy says, Mean Bean Machine Training 1. Today, Trial by Fire, because I gotta catch up to JJ, and he already finished Mean Bean that. Am I almost at the boss? I guess not. Alright, but at least Koya was saying that JJ's Puyo performance was hardly, you know, a mastering of the mechanics. But yeah, I'm lucky if I pull off a comp. Like this? Was this in even Vanilla Mania? I don't remember that. I mean, it's possible I never took this route before, but... Aw, damn it. No problem. Ish. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh boy. Come on, bring me to Puyo. I'm ready for Puyo. Send me into the pipe of chemicals. This it? What the hell? We're not done yet? I want to be at the boss. Nice. Vector figures that he would be a competitive force in the Mania speedrunning scene simply because of all the time that you could save during the Puyo Puyo sequence. Polar Wildcat says, all the hipsters call it Puyo Puyo. They'll be like, Mean Bean Machine? Oh, you mean Puyo Puyo. Let's see, how can I make a meal out of this poo? Well, that's gonna... I don't know. I didn't want to do what is quick and easy if it's not good payoff long term. I guess I want more reds, don't I? Shoot. Alright, now I'm gonna go into more short-term gratification, you know, panic mode. I'm abandoning the goal of combos. Although, if I got some yellows, I'm gonna go for a combo. Ah! But I need yellow stat. Alright, there's at least one more. Alright, ready for this combo? I deserve to win because of that one combo. Alright, I'm gonna play instant gratification mode. I don't have what it takes. It's just really frustrating when, you know, you don't have the game mastered, you're trying to set up a combo, and you're getting kind of close. But then, when those interference blocks fall down like that, then it totally screws up your plans. I don't like that. I'm not calling it a design flaw, but it's a reason I suck. Alright, out of commission. The way Vector Sater explains it, think of your blobs like making a sandwich. It should be the same colors for the bun. Each new layer should be the same. Yeah, I'll have to do a Puyo Puyo seminar. But yeah, a Polar Wildcat saying that hipsters like to call it Puyo Puyo. In, you know, more than a decade ago, proto Alex Yard YouTube content, I remember talking about Mean Bean Machine at one point. And I did get someone that commented like, You know, because I had made an offhanded comment saying, oh yeah, Mean Bean Machine is just Sonic's take on Tetris. And someone in the comments, you know, rightly pointed out that Mean the Bean the Machine is based on Puyo Puyo, not Tetris. And he was right. Sam wonders who in the lead, and that would be JJ by quite a bit. I gotta get Mighty. No, I've been Mighty the whole time. You guys know who I need. Raymond J. Squirrel. Oh, I love this nighttime scene. Some of these colors pretty wild. Is this a place to go? I never come up here. I hope it's quicker. Koyao is ready to declare that EB has faster reflexes on the basis that EB Boy, I think it was EB Boy, sorry if the chat disappeared, I can't find it, beat Mean Bean Machine, bravo. When you know what you're doing, how long is a playthrough to get to the credits of Mean Bean Machine? Vector Sater says, real ones call it Puyo Pop. And the real ones also own the physical and digital versions of Puyo Pop Fever. Ow. Maybe I should just use Sonic for his drop dash. Drop dash is allowed. I love this boss. But JJ's on the Act 2 boss, so I'm in some trouble. Interesting. EB Boy says, yeah, if you know what you're doing in Mean Bean Machine, you can clear that get that there game in about an hour. Nice. Vector Sater played that there Mean Bean Machine incessantly as a kid. Hope you had time to try Sonic 3, though. I'm just kidding, man. Alright, EB Boy says that a speed run of Mean Bean Machine is about 12 minutes. But yeah, I think Vector Sater had also added the detail that, you know, if you're actually talking about speed runs of Sonic Mania, speedrunners know how to skip the Mean Bean Machine part. Because that's the speedrunner's motto. No content required. Take it to the bank. Yeah, and I believe EB Boy, what EB Boy is saying, that once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun. Puyo Pop Fever is a game that was included. Whoa, did you see how close I was to that missile? That extracontinental ballistic missile. Yeah, EB Boy is chalking up a long play. So not a speed run, just a long play. Or about half an hour. Imagine that. Why am I losing to JJ so badly? He's got the gaming skills. You know those ads for Sonic that says, are you up to it? Dude, JJ is up to it. And I'm up to it too, but, I mean, JJ is up to it. Look at the koi pond in the back. It's my ritual to call that the koi pond and see how you react. You. Nice. EB Boy reports that Puyo Pop Fever is a pretty chill game. Because EB Boy played the Game Boy Advance version. I wonder if that's on the Nintendo Switch Online collection. Obviously it wouldn't be. I'm just saying random things that pop into my cerebrum. Jumps. Ooh, I flipped the tiles of love. What does it say? Cool. Wow, it accurately assessed me. Cool. It knew all along. Yeah, but that's cool that it's a chill game, Puyo Pop Fever. Does that mean it's a little easier and less stressful and maybe is a little more forgiving? That was the endless mind motif. See? Huh? I'm not making this up. It's everywhere. And it really is an endless mine of potential applications. EB Boy says story mode is way less of a curve compared to MBM Mean Bean Machine's 10 levels. Oh god. Spiky microphone. Metaphorically, the spiky microphone of the Opie and Anthony show. Did the radio stations in your, area growing up have that promotion, the $96,000 Bandit? It was a promotion, it was kind of like a contest, not quite a sweepstakes, but it was like a contest that radio stations would do where they would present this kind of backstory that you knew was fake, but they would say, oh my god, we had $96,000 in the safe here at the studio that was supposed to be for prize money for contests, because it was like hot 96.3, so the amount of money would be 96 grand. Alright, so they build up this fake story like, oh my god, the $96,000 Bandit took all our prize money, and then not only that, said Bandit starts calling in to almost make like scary, ransom calls, like something the Joker would do. Call you up and kind of taunt you and say like, haha, I stole your money. What are you gonna do about it? So they make it as a contest where the Bandit will reveal little clues about what he looks like, and then literally the way you win is you have to find the Bandit in real life and walk up to the Bandit and say, are you the $96,000 Bandit? And if you find the Bandit and ask them, then you win. So I don't know. I just find that hilarious that, a bunch of people would go around asking like, hey, are you the criminal that stole almost $100,000? I'm sure that never led to any misunderstandings or hurt feelings. Yeah, now Evie Boy is saying, Alex Yard's basically playing for score with that there ring count. Oh, can I go both ways? Fake out. I wonder if that's unique to Encore mode? I think it might be. I don't remember an ability to go left to a little, subvert expectations nook. Where it's actually just one of those scooters that sends you the other way. But yeah, having that many rings, you start to ask yourself, Alex, cool that you had so many rings, but couldn't you have traded the safety of holding those rings for time? I think that's a real possibility. Polar Wildcat says, whatever station number they assign for those radio and TV channels, they'll use for other things. Like how WLVI Channel 56 had a P.O. Box number 56 as their mailing address. Yes, and of course, who could forget when Hot 107 at the end of the year would do their countdown of the 107 best songs of the year, so that kids at home can notice it and go, oh, that's like the channel number. It's so funny and epic that radio stations, operate on true frequencies that are pretty much limited to the 80s, 90s, and low 100s, right? I would love to know the scientific explanation for why FM radio channels are limited to that specific range. And then, of course, you got AM, which is like 1420. I don't know if that's, a similar measurement of frequency or if that's a different statistic. Yeah, future generations, right? Generation Z squared. Kids that were raised on Tumblr. Whoa, did you see that? Because they were both holding on to the handle, but Sonic was blinking. It looked like it was switching identities rapidly between Might and Son. Samighty. Sonami. EB Boy figured it was frequency all along. Right, but is it the same frequency measured in FM and AM? Are these things going to go down or what? I don't want to get crushed. What the hell is this? They're just always up? Oh, right. That's got to be an Encore mode thing, right? I just wonder if the frequency measured in FM is the same in AM. Which is to say that, if a frequency is 107 and AM is 1400, that means it's 14 times higher of a frequency. I mean, it could be. Could be. It just might be a different measurement system for frequency hertz. And that ends my boring pondering of that topic. EB Boy does know how AM is able to travel further because it's closer to the ground. Easier to penetrate through walls and mountains. Take that, mountains. You're not so mighty after all. EB Boy says FM is higher and doesn't go as far. It gets messed up in the tunnels and whatnot. Don't I know it? And that was a thing that would happen on Opie and Anthony. They had a lot of people call into the show to say things, ask questions. And sometimes they'd be in the middle of talking to an ongoing conversation with someone on the phone, and they would say, all right, I gotta punch out. I'm heading into the tunnel. I'm gonna lose the cell signal. Punching out, that was kind of a house phrase. Whenever someone would call in to say something or ask it, they would finish by saying, all right, guys, punching out. I was looking at the face of Robotnik in all that rubble as it fell. Flying battery, I'm so behind JJ. Place all your bets. Oh, I love this background. Alternate color scheme. It's like, it kind of looks bad, but in a good, intentional way. I wouldn't want to make the color scheme in my childhood bedroom this. But, as a miserable, but nonetheless committed to the duty of destroying Eggman's plans, it's incredible. Like I always say, Metroid music sounds kind of miserable. A lot of it. What am I supposed to... I could just jump through the poles? I thought the pole was solid and I couldn't proceed. Wow. Sam bet all of his cash on JJ? I hope JJ doesn't collapse at the finish line. Whoa, did you see that? I'm not even mad that happened, because I don't need to keep my ring. But the combi ring brings back good memories here at the zone. We're making new memories every day. Just not the kind of memories that are good fodder for a new taunt, I guess. Look, I want to, I'm just a little burned out, and I honestly also don't want to make a taunt unless I know it's dynamite. Like those first 10 taunts I made, I'm like, holy crap, people are gonna love these. And they did, each time. Until they didn't. I have to step up the game or just rethink, I don't know, I just did. I don't want to keep turning out mediocre taunts. Oh yeah, so EB Boy says, when we get into the serious stuff? We might as well now, because A, it's not that serious, and B, I'm just sitting here talking about radio frequencies. So, what's been going on? Well, as you may know, my initial plan was to release 2 videos back to back. Okay? The shadow video and then the bonus video. Now, the bonus video is still happening. It's just I made the choice not to release it, the day after the shadow. And honestly, one element of that I think is going to work out for the better is just that the shadow video is just, an ultimate Sonic celebration during the year of Shadow. So since the bonus video includes some more serious elements, I think it's better in the long run that it didn't come out the day after the Shadow video. Sam wonders what's the game for the bonus video. So what I've decided is this. I'm going to tell streamer viewers something, and I'm not yet going to put this in any tweets or YouTube posts, but I am going to say it out loud only here on the air. So the bonus video, which is, considerably longer than the average YouTube video on the channel, I'll just flat out say it. It's about Spear of Justice in Undertale. I'm going to present the situation. I'm going to detail all the very drastic similarities between Spear of Justice and the song By God Forsaken, right? So if you saw my live stream about the topic, that live stream was essentially just an initial brainstorm, and B, an honest attempt to start the dialogue to see what people have to say. Ghost of Burb's eyes and ears certainly perked up at that. Yeah, so, once I knew that I was not going to release the videos on back-to-back day, I pretty much put... So what I call it is the Spearfire video. That's what I'm calling it, because in this video I will be comparing the very numerous drastic composition similarities between Spear of Justice and Skyfire's By God Forsaken. Now, what can you expect with this video? And hello Raiders, what's up LT Dangerous? What you can expect is, well, the thing is, even though I'm calling it a bonus video, on many levels, this is very much just another video in the series that is, the Alex Yard Music Theory YouTube channel. It's a little bit of a different format, definitely, but the sorts of observations, the talking points that will be discussed, and even the presentation and tone of humor that I have in my vid is very much present in this video. So, as I was saying, I did a lot of work on the video, so it's mostly done. I won't even tell you which things need to be done, because I try not to share too much, but suffice it to say that when I open that project and look at everything on the timeline, that just about everything's there. I'm in the final piece together phase of things. So what I did was that I went back to the live stream to follow up on some of the comments that had been put on that video, and so, there's a couple people on that comment section that I'm not concerned with their take because it's very hostile and it seems very misinformed, or maybe... But there was one guy, I'll just call him a guy, I don't know if he's a guy or a girl, but one commenter who, to give this person credit, definitely seems to be pretty level-headed and pretty mostly fair in, right, not nearly as many cheap, debate maneuvers or anything, right? Like, clearly this person is, at least to a 90% extent, having an honest conversation, okay? But I'll say that, right, talking with this person over the past 48 hours has been, very useful. The video is just about all completely written and everything, but having this conversation, is yielding the result that I always intended the live stream to be in the first place, which is, right, if I'm presenting all this evidence, I want to know what people think of it. When you look at everything on the table, what's your conclusion? Okay? Yeah, EB Boy says those are the type of comments you want to spend your time on, and I totally agree. Okay? Right, like, talking to this person has been a pretty good barometer of, like, what I'm up against. If I'm going to put a video together that contains a thesis that inevitably some people just will not buy into at all, then this is, remember the time I got crushed here? This is valuable intel, reconnaissance. Figure out, like, okay, if I say X, what are they going to say? Okay? So, Sam wonders what kind of GPU I have. I guess you could say that that's an MSI Dragon thing. Where would I look to see the GPU? It's like NVIDIA. Is that what the graphics card? So, without chronicling an exhaustive, recap of that still ongoing exchange, and this person responds pretty quickly, and I've been responding fairly promptly to them. I at least give the person credit for that they're willing to have the conversation now. It's not this, highly measured, calculated response. It's like, no, all right, clearly you're willing to talk open with me right now, and you definitely get credit for that. Okay? Good rock reconnaissance agrees, EB Boy. So, without giving you a big summary of all the right, one of the things that this person brought up as sort of a defense is to say, well, the things that Toby has done, all composers do. And to say, Alex, do you really want to now take the entire video game industry to task? Right? Because if you have a problem with something that Toby has done, then you should similarly have a problem with Koji Kondo, and this person did cite a bunch of examples, which I won't go into, but basically this person's take was, well, this isn't a Toby thing. This is the entire video game industry. This is standard practice that's been going on since the 80s. Do you really think you can take the entire video game industry to task? So that's the kind of thing where I'm a little bit disturbed by that, but not disturbed in the sense that I think this person is being, unreasonable or illogical, or right, but I'm a little disturbed by that line of thinking, because that's almost saying, like, well, all these other composers jumped off a bridge, so it's fine for Toby, right? 10 wrongs don't make a right. 1 wrong, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Never mind 10 or 15. So, yeah. So, one of the things I called this person on was I said, listen, if you think the fact that we're talking about video games specifically is like a relevant thing, you say, oh, like this is the way it works in video games. So you can't apply the same standards that you would to Sam Smith and Tom Petty? Like, hard stop. Absolutely not. There is absolutely, literally nothing that is different about, Celine Dion releasing a CD versus a video game including music, right? You do not get an inch of leeway where the way you're able to conduct yourself and what you're able to call an original composition, right? They're not. So this person, I'm glad this person said this because it kind of exposes a fatal flaw. It's almost like an admission to say, yeah, no, this thing happens in video games, more so than Bruno Mars's catalog, that's just a thing. And it almost seems to be like a little bit of an intimidation angle to say, oh, you really want to take the entire video game industry to task? And the answer to that is no. I'm taking specific composers to task who have made specific, troubling choices where I cannot in good faith continue to let my Undyne video say, all music composed by Toby Fox. That was an unwarranted assumption that I made, and at the very least, I have a clear mandate to kind of clarify that claim that I made in the Undyne video is not nearly as simple as it seems. But the other really kind of upsetting, again, not necessarily a bad faith thing to say, but still something that's disappointing to hear from someone who clearly is able to form well thought out opinions and is able to respond to my questions pretty much in real time, going back and forth over the course of just a couple days, said that, what's it called? Wow, JJ pulled out the victory, and here I am, not even at Stardust Speedway Zone. I've never gotten Ray. So here's the thing about Encore mode. It's not easy to find those monitors, right? Like, you just saw me go past a monitor that was one that would kind of rotate the character, but to get a new character added to your deck, so to speak, those are not easy to find at all. Takes hit. EB Boy says, you can tell when someone is passionate and knows what they're talking about because they're speaking from experience. This person I've been corresponding with, I can definitely tell that they are at least, they have knowledge of music theory, to be able to meaningfully use words and terms like scale degrees, time signature, right? They're not totally talking out of turn. But there was another point I was getting to, but I'm so distracted by this incredible Sunset Speedway color scheme. But yeah, bravo JJ. JJ took the bravo victory. Not any massive surprise there. So let me close JJ's feed. And whatever the opposite of a victory lap is, that's what I'm doing here at the Stardust Speedway, where Mania remembers. Ghost of Burb is heading to bed, and thank you so much. I see the flood of on-screen bits. They can't see it on YouTube, but I can see every last flame, and I thank you very much, Ghost of Burb. Have yourself a good one. EB Boy wonders if it's a Saturday stream this week, and I would have to check the schedule. But I'm pretty sure you're right about that. Alright, so without dwelling on that Undertale composition topic for a super long time, I don't know if you heard that Skype notification just now, but the other thing is that I just flat out asked this person, do you think this is a coincidence? And the person said, yes, pure coincidence. It's disappointing to hear that, right? Especially since Toby is, it is well established that he wears his influence on the sleeves, and if you watch Relax Alax's video, you might hear his take that, oh, well, everyone knows about the Kirby soundtrack, so doing something like this is like an intentional homage that we are, as the audience, are supposed to recognize. Oh, cool, that's a tribute to this Kirby song. Well, that logic falls flat on its face when you look at Spear, because that Skyfire song that it shares so many similarities with is an obscure death metal band from Sweden, right? Like, that's not something anyone could be reasonably expected to know. And oh, cool, Spear of Justice is an homage to, right? No one knows about a Swedish death metal band, pretty much. And it's the example in Undertale that has the most composition overlaps, right? You can look at everything in Undertale and rank the severity of how much it draws from someone else's composition. To my knowledge, Spear would be at the extreme top of that list. So, if we know that Toby makes no secret of using other songs as reference, why are you insisting that this is a coincidence? And then, hey, what's up, Willy Thrilly? Love that username. Hope you're here for some thrills, because that's what I offer here at The Zone. Thrilling backgrounds, beautiful sunsets, at Stardust speed. It's a sight to behold. JJ kicked my ass in the speed run. Alright, so I suppose I should tell you one more thing and promise that it's the last thing I'll say on the topic today. Actually, no. It's another thing that this person tried to say. Because I will probably touch upon it in the video, I suppose there's no reason to open that specific file right now. But what I will say is that, yeah, has this been weighing on me? I don't want to say it's weighing on me, but it's like I've come up upon something that's very real, you know? It's the sort of thing where I have to make a choice if I'm gonna fight for what's right. And I use those words very carefully. Fight for what's right. Yeah, knowing that a certain quantity of folks are just not gonna be, they're gonna reject it. They're gonna say, what Undertale has is what all composers... So pretty much my video is gonna be a rebuttal. But yeah, Vector, I think that person was a bot, maybe not even a person, you know? Yeah. Now, Polar Wildcat has said, lots of music artists get inspiration from other music artists. Yes. And so, that's actually going to be included in my video. I'm going to provide several examples of what healthy inspiration looks like. And by healthy inspiration, what I mean is taking, you know, an individual strand of DNA as a starting point, and then doing lots of new things with it. New song structure, using that little fragment in a new way, in a new context, right? The problem with Spear is that it takes the riff and it does a lot of the same things, in the same order. Yeah, Evie Boy says, you think it doesn't invalidate my talk on a specific topic because the composer talk is a more broad one. Yeah, but some of the logic that this person said was like, oh no, this can't be the case because Toby said he wrote the Undyne music first and then later did the boss battle, Spear of Justice. So if he came up with the Undyne character theme on his own, then that's his original composition. The fact that he expanded it into something that resembles Skyfire is a coincidence. And it's like, what you gotta realize, buddy, is that you are, taking Toby at his word. If I am investigating, right, this is kind of the way I put it. if I am investigating potential misconduct by Toby Fox, then I would be an absolute fool to let the investigation be settled by, oh, Toby Fox said he composed this first and only later added these, right? Like, that would be so foolish and irresponsible of me to say, oh, I guess Toby said, so that's it, right? The fact that Toby never answers unscreened questions, his entire presence is just a highly calculated curate, right? Cherry-picking only the questions that he's comfortable answering. Yeah, you bet that I have reservations about blindly accepting Toby's timeline of events. And yeah, it's just that timeline can exist even if Toby knew about Skyfire's composition all along. The two are not mutually exclusive. I guess I'm just very resentful of this person saying, like, oh, Alex, it's understandable that this would be your first thought, but now that I told you about how Toby's composition process works, I'm glad we can clear this up, right? That is, right? You're without getting my buy-in, this person is already talking about this as if the matter is settled. And it's just a weird sort of peer pressuring that I'm supposed to now accept Toby's version of events. The point that, no, I am under no obligation, and if I am investigating misconduct, I would not let Toby saying, no, trust me, to be the settling factor. Right. As EB Boy says, I can be ready for some rebuttals of my video in this vein. Yes. This conversation over the past couple days has been very valuable in, yeah, anticipating some of what people say. And then, you know, it's not too late for me to tweak the script a little bit in order to get in front of some of those inevitable rebuttals, you know, nip them in the bud. But yeah, so I'll stop talking about that person, and I will close the topic by saying that even though it's a bonus video that's a slightly different format, you know, it is going to have a thing in the title that says, in parentheses, intense video. And that's being done, you know, to give a heads up about the nature of the video. You know, it's not a feel-good jaunt, but it has very big doses of the sort of contextual humor that you've come to understand and appreciate on my channel, right? As far as music theory discussion and content, there's a whole lot of that, right? If you thought that the Shadow video was a little bit lighter on the deep dive music theory analysis, this video has a lot more. I consider this video to serve, you know, as a highly valuable source of information. I have no rings now, so I gotta play good. Oh, Ray screwed me. No, Mighty screwed me. Alright, because I died with Sonic, interesting that it kicked me back, back to here. And hey, what's up, Shadow Ops? Alright. Now, I don't have Sonic anymore. I wonder if all those hits I got on the boss, and then I also wonder if these spiky hands don't actually hurt Mighty. Well, why That's upsetting. So what do I lose? Might as well. I got crushed by JJ. Yeah. Polar Wildcat says, countless music artists, for example, gained influence from Kraftwerk. Yeah, so my video, I think I was starting to say, is going to have many examples of thumbs up inspiration without play. You can be inspired but still make a new original composition. So yeah, I guess I needed to talk about it because the conversation had over the last day or two was just kind of jarring, and it's a wake-up call about what I'm up against. But I have no doubts about the road forward. This conversation is only better informing the commentary that I will soon be delivering. There it is. Sorry if that monologue was kind of messy, but I certainly do not want the ongoing topic of Spearfire Gate to be, a recurring cloud here on live streams. I'm going to post that video and take it one day at a time. I have no specific outcome in mind. It's not like I make the video and the goal is for X to happen, and if not, it's a failure. It's like I don't have a specific outcome in mind other than to outline in excruciating detail with lots and lots of humor and commentary along the way, let people know where I stand, since it needs to be said. It needs to be said because there's a whole bunch of people out there saying, oh no, this is fine, all composers do this, this is how video game music works. No, it definitely does not. There is absolutely zero adjustment of criteria when it comes to what constitutes an original composition. Well, let's pay out the wager of destiny, because Sam bet just about everything he had, if not everything, almost 10,000 points. And for that big bet, Sam, you're going to get a pretty big piece of the pie. Excuse me. Including about 1,000 points from Polar Wildcat Studios. Imagine that. Imagine that. Bravo, JJ. You won the thing. So yeah. How about we do a video game request, everybody? Is Koyao in the house? Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Koyao's loving it. Koyao is indeed here. I am here, Koyao. Koyao. Here we go. Here we go. All right. All right, Koyao has the preface that today's track is a little more mellow compared to some others that you've sent. But it's a game with such a unique sound that it deserves the representation, reputation. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie competing against Mufasa? Not actually even a challenge, to be honest. Especially after you see how Lion King fans dislike the idea of that Mufasa film. Nice. Sonic 3 movies prospects are only getting better and better. It's going to be a bomb box office return. Almost as bomb as this Tom Brady advertisement.
The stories I've told you are real.
No. Yes. Stop.
Alright, here's the track. Volume. EB Boy says, wait, what? Did something get announced for Movie 3? No, I was just kind of talking about the bit I did in the new Shadow video about how Movie 3 is coming out the same day as Mufasa. Not anymore on the same day as Avatar 3. And did you see that little thumbnail I included for Avatar 3? It basically had a Shadow the Hedgehog style avatar. With the black and red, you know? Ah, nice. So while Vector Sater has heard this but forget where's, Shadow Ops has heard this and remembers what it's from. You are indeed correct, Shadow Ops over on YouTube, that this song is from the game Engi. E-N-G-I. I can't say I've heard of this, but by the end of this stream, I will have heard of it. Alright. Oh, okay, that's not the name of the game. Alright, the name of the game was not in the... so is Engi the name of the song? Because Shadow Op says, Ben Prutney... So clearly Shadow Ops is familiar with this, but I guess has just not yet said the actual name of the game. Oh, okay. So I see these letters, and I think I saw what those 3 letters stand for. Yeah, Shadow Op said Engi and Ben Prutney. So you're extremely close. I wonder how you could know those data points, Shadow Ops, but not the name of the game. What's going on with that? Right, that's the composer, but... Koyao says, please, YouTube person, get it right. Vector Sater wonders, Metal Gear, perhaps 2, Solid 2. It is not Metal Gear. Sam says, Metal Gear Solid 5. The Swan song. Today's footage is courtesy of World of Long Plays, a cultural institution in the BGM surveillance footage genre. Get a load of this. Alright, I'm showing the gameplay. I'm seeing guesses for Mass Effect, Among Us, Lethal Company. EB Boy knows it, he just doesn't know the name. Which is it? I love this. This kind of reminds me of the more chill music in that level, The Doom, which is kind of like a counterpart to Lost Impact level with Maria. It had pretty cool, I don't know, drum and bass, you know, like an expensive elevator with good music in it. Vector Sater is ready to confirm that he has not heard this song in its native game. What, did you hear it in the background of like a Super Mario Bros. Z episode? Tep Music is going to head to bed. Thanks for spending some time with us, Tep. Always appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the program, and I'll see you next time. JJ wonders if it's Kerbal Space Program. Koyao explains this game actually has dynamic music. Each space sector has a calm version and a battle version of its theme. That's cool. Eevee Boy wonders if Tep Music is new. In the scheme of things, yes. But Tep is a known JJ affiliate and collaborator, and actually collaborated on that video I told you about, where JJ plays the role of Marlon Brando, playing the role of Gerald Robotnik, and I play the role of the American easygoing gun soldier. Alpha Yankee Zulu. Get it? AYZ? Yeah, there's an Easter egg that will give you a reason to rewatch it. So Koyao explains that what we're hearing right now is in fact the battle version of the music that plays in sectors habitated by a race of friendly machine people. I think we're ready to say the name of the game, Koyao. We're ready for the big reveal, and as you reveal it, I will finally update the attribution to World of Long Place. A whole world of long plays. I do like this. Alright, so Koyao reveals the name of the game is FTL, Faster Than Light. So is this kind of going for, a Starfield, No Man's Sky vibe? I say that kiddingly. Not all spacey games are the same, Alex. Eevee Boy is getting the vibe that this sounds straight out of Ratchet and Clank. Alright, yeah, Vector says gameplay of this never sticks in your mind. So maybe you heard this in, the background of a YouTube video or something. Super Mario Bros. Z, or Carl Job's deep dive background music, or in the waiting room at the White House. I like the hi-hat. So these drums you're hearing, this is kind of like what Stuart Copeland was talking about in the Spyro video that I made. How you don't always have to have, the snare drums on 1, 2, 3, 4, right? He makes the point that even just hitting the hi-hat, he goes, that's plenty of rhythm. He goes, still getting paid. That Stuart Copeland is what we call a hot ticket. Eevee Boy says just one request. If you mean music requests, that was technically the plan. Unless you had a pitch. But yeah, Eevee Boy, thanks as always for hanging out. I'll talk to you later. Koyao says the music that plays when you're inside a nebula and can hardly see anything around your ship is haunting. Sorry, excuse me. Koyao had further said before that the music creates such a nice atmosphere, so he wanted to represent it here. But yeah, there is haunting music elsewhere in the soundtrack. So it brings in the snare drum occasionally on beat 2, I'm noticing. So, is the main gameplay style this, top-down view of moving through these rooms inside whatever shuttle or space station this is? I do like this. There's that keyboard that at times is playing, like, you could say arpeggios, quarter notes. Yeah, Koyao says, control your little people inside the ship. And then, what's the object? Are you trying to escape or find all the engine cores? Koyao says, you have to tell probably each little person you're controlling to fire your guns or put out fires or shoot intruders. So you're kind of the director of the first responders unit. Shadow Ops wonders if I should do UT99 beats. Do tell, pray tell. What does it mean to do UT99 beats? Because it sounds kind of intriguing. Koyao adds that it's a mix of strategy and roguelike elements. Now let's see if there's any Sonic 3 movie news flying around on Twitter. Nothing. However, I did see a tweet earlier today that was, albeit a rumor, and it's not even much of a rumor, to say that the Sonic Movie 3 trailer is coming out in August. I mean, the movie's slated for December, so 6 months away. I would think that any minute now is a realistic possibility. Never mind. The trail at some point in all of August. Well, at this point, it's borderline behind schedule. All right, you ready for your Noah Copeland testimonial of the day? Here we go. Noah Copeland says, I'll read it in a dramatic voice. Noah Copeland said, I felt something on my head, so I went to touch it, and it was a spider. And now I want to burn myself in acid to clean the spider voodoo off. And then what Noah didn't say was, good night, everybody. Sonic Movie 3 hashtag is trending. And you guys probably heard that the Knuckles series is going to air in some form on good old Nickelodeon. Now I'm seeing that the Sonic 3 trailer has leaked, but it's unconfirmed, but people are talking. I can confirm that people are talking about this. JJ says, they'll announce a Sonic Central for the movie, Shadow Gens, and Toy Party. So you think they're gonna show the movie trailer during a Sonic Central? I wouldn't think that. Because movie 1 and 2 trailers just dropped whenever. Who could forget the first Sonic Movie 1 trailer, not because of Ugly Sonic, but because of Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. I should have seen the warning signs. Even just that choice of music should have warned me about Sonic Movie 2, even though Movie 1 was pretty good. Damn good. Good enough. More than good enough. Just rocking out to this track, man. Well, Tom's getting more active now. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so if anything, I would think the trailer would just randomly drop, followed by Sonic Central the next day, and a Tales Tube the day after that. No, we're not going to get another Tales Tube that is relevant to the movie synergy, because we already had a Shadow Tales Tube. Unless they want to have Gerald Robotnik as a guest on Tales Tube. Go back in time and talk to Gerald Robotnik as he was descending into madness. That would be a hoot of a time. Sonic movie number 3. Oh, okay. So Shadow Ops had been talking about UT99. That is, of course, Unreal Tournament 99. So you want me to cover that? You want me to do a cover of an Unreal Tournament 99 song? Which song? I'm just kidding. You mean that as a music theory video? Well, I appreciate the request. Always love hearing people's requests. Koyao is confused that we're going back to the Sonic Adventure 2 plot points. It feels the Sonic writers wanted to get rid of the whole Sonic on Earth thing. Well, first I can say that as far as Sonic existing in the real, interacting with the real world, I would say Sonic Adventure 2 is like kind of a perfect game, right? Because it starts at City Escape, it goes to space, right? Sonic Adventure 2 is the, a big step forward and aside from, the green hills of Green Hill Zone and trees and nature. I would openly welcome if Movie 3 casts aside the placeholder plot of Sonic being raised by Tom and Maddie and needing to grow up and become more mature, but not moving the needle on that forward at all in Movie 2, despite the canoe scene. JJ wonders, just how far ahead do I plan future video topics? Well, for music theory, the truth is that I do have some possible things simmering in a lot of cases that I, like Hydrosity, like with Sonic 3. Let me just say that every Sonic 3 music theory video that I made, like, I kind of always knew that I was going to. It was just a matter of when. And if you guys remember the pretty long stretch of Sonic 3 videos, there was kind of a gap. All of the Sonic 3 videos came out relatively within range of each other, but then it took a long time to get to Chrome Gadget, and then plenty more time to get to Hydrosity. Now, I always knew I was going to do a Hydrosity video, but in all honesty, I didn't know when. I didn't know when I was ready. I didn't know when I was, but once I knew I was ready, I was, yep. That video was actually very easy to make. As far as being ready, Chrome Gadget was one that I needed to make sure that I was ready for, because it was a more Chrome gadget, compared to everything else in Sonic 3, is very complicated and technical. And if you watch the music theory video, you knew that I got into some pretty high-concept, deep-dive details about, like, inverted chords. So, like, let me drop this back as I'm not going to write this in print anywhere, but I will say it on the air. And you might think it's a who gives a crap factoid. But the shadow video that I just did, right? That was not planned out in advance. It was not like earlier this year I was like, oh, let me do a shadow video, okay? I made the last video on Sonic Unleashed. And then in one way, guys, I can be honest and say that when I finished the Unleashed video, I was genuinely, like, I don't want to say that I was stumped, but I said it like, it was like, all right, starting from scratch, what am I going to do next? And I was like, Shadow would literally be perfect for this point in time, now that we know about the movie and Shadow Generations and every number of Shadow. I was like, if I wanted to do a Shadow video now, could I do it? And then I listened to the music, and my verdict was, almost definitely. Hell yeah, I can do a Shadow video, right? So it's not really a matter of being stumped about what to do next, just that I did not start to think about what to do next until I finished the Unleashed video. Now, that being said, there are certain videos that were in the cards for a long time, and I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do. It was just a matter of when. And Spyro actually was I knew for a while I wanted to do a Spyro video. And then, like, the video before Unleashed was what is now the top performer on the channel in my last 10 videos. You probably already heard me brag about this. Ba-bomb Battlefield. I figured that due to right, when I pick video topics, it's of course not only based on the chances of how well it will do in the algorithm, and right, but that's absolutely not only a factor, but a big factor. Not the only criteria, but at this point in my YouTube career, yeah, I cannot be picking passion projects out of love. And if I am, it's got to be a shorter video. But what was my point? Oh yeah, I was like, all right. Mario 64 is not a big soundtrack, so if the Dire Docks video did so well because there's so much recognition, I really ought to do a video about some other stuff in the soundtrack, and I did. You want me to drop a micro tidbit teaser about things in the cards? Have you guys ever played Sonic CD? Well, I can tell you that I already know in my head when I'm gonna do this zone, when I'm gonna do that zone. That I'll tell you, streaming viewers, I'll say that the Sonic CD roadmap already exists. So Sonic CD is a specific case where I actually do know when I'm going to do specific videos. I'm choosing my words very vaguely, but so Sonic CD has a roadmap. Probably nothing else I should say, except to say that if you're a patron, you actually know a little bit more than that. Wouldn't it be nice to be a patron? $1 a month, help me not go out of business. I got a comment on the new video. Maybe I already ranted about this on Monday. Comment says, "Oh, Alex, I'm so glad to see a new video. Never leave us again." You know, if you felt the burn of, you know, a 2-month gap between videos, well, the reason that I can't put out a video once per month is because my most devoted fans, like you, that feel the burn of my absence, aren't giving money. Yeah, and JJ says, "Tell them you stream, LOL." Yeah, I did actually respond, and I said, "What do you mean, where have I been?" I've been streaming 3 days a week and working hard on not one but 2 videos. So, the fact that I just put out the Shadow video, like, I'm trying to think in my head, how long did it take me to go from publishing the Unleashed video to publishing the Shadow video? And what does that indicate about my current, you know, productivity pace? So let me actually find that, right? Because kind of the pace that I've been going at is that it takes 2 months to make a video that's 17 and a half minutes, right? That's just a ballpark. But my videos that are about 17 minutes, I would expect them to take 2 months to make, okay? So I put out the Unleashed video on June 13th. So from June 13 to July 13 is a month. So now you take that to July 29, okay? That's a quick production cycle. If the Shadow video, it's 14 minutes, so it's shorter than those 17-minute ones by a few minutes, but the Spearfire video is long. And I intend to publish the Spearfire video in about a week. So that's, at the end of that will be a 2-month production cycle for way more than 17 minutes of content. So it is for that reason that I am going to continue working on 2 videos. I just think it's such a better workflow to be able to, right? Because like I said, in most cases, up until this point, I don't really start actively writing a script until it's time to pick a video. At most, I have a few things that I've jotted down, but that usually applies to like the Sonic 3 project. Throughout the entirety of Sonic 3's production cycle of music theory videos, like, I was jotting down things for Hydrosity more than a year before I actually sat down to make it. So I was gathering observations for Hydrosity and Chrome Gadget way before I actually actively entered production. So it was like, once I started working on Chrome Gadget or Hydrosity, I at least did have some bullet points of things to include. But yeah, I genuinely think that the double production schedule has been very beneficial. It's a little hard to explain, but when you see the duration of the Spearfire video and you add the total number of minutes of the Shadow video and the Spearfire video, that's going to be a 2-month production cycle with way more minutes of content. Now, not all content minutes are created equally. And when I say that, I mean that I don't think the Spearfire video has as much editing per minute than your typical music theory video. And the thing about my music theory videos is, I've probably said this before, you look at the Shadow video, I'd like to think that the Shadow video visually is an absolute delight. But nothing in that video was like a big lift a big project just for this one scene. It's really as simple as, you know, I start with the talking point of, all right, I want to talk about this melody, this rhythm, okay? So then I put it on screen, and then maybe even after I've recorded the voiceover, put the footage on screen, and then I have an aha moment where it's like, all right, while I'm here, right? While I'm here, I might as well add this because it would be very, very easy to add. With an example of that being the blueprint overlay. At the start of the Shadow video, when Shadow is skydiving down and you see that overlay of the blueprint plans, like that's one of those magical things that, like, it was a lot earlier that I knew I wanted to do the blueprint bit. You know, these creatures are two of a kind, drafted from the same blueprint, and I always knew I was going to have Shadow in time. But the idea to bring in the blueprint overlay earlier, while Shadow is still skydiving, that was so incredibly easy to make, but to me it looks stunning. I don't want to tear down the fourth wall too much, but a lot of the most memorable moments, the most, you know, visually striking moments were very easy to make. Like, if I were to stop and think, which part of the Shadow video was the biggest lift? Well, it was probably the key signature map, showing you all the different keys depending on what path you take. Well, we've been listening to the song for a good while, and with good reason, because I like it a lot. The schedule did say more, plus more, but maybe the more is all the talking I've been doing for the past 30 minutes. No, I will at least do a micro thing. I will even take suggestions about something to look at now and do like kind of a mini Alex Reacts. Sam is taken off. See you later next time, Sam. Koyao is glad that I like it, but you worry it puts some Yardigans to sleep. And hey, even if that's the case, my stream is multifunctional. One of the functions it can serve as is as a sleeping agent. Because my voice is so incredible and perfect that it just soothes everyone, soothes into a delightful, restful sleep. Yeah, as JJ says, this track was good to listen to Alex to. Excellent ambience, good vibe, and it's just really cool that it has that vibe overlap with some of the space-bound levels in Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah, Koyao figures in the end, ultimately, at the end of it all, what it comes down to is, the facts are, in the end, you guess that FTL Faster Than Light X-Cross Ship Alex Yard is a very relaxing combination. Good night, everybody. Koyao is committed to bringing something high energy next time. A mission statement I support, but not on the premise that today's request was somehow lesser. It's just that you need balance. You need balance. Koyao claims it didn't mean shipping, but if I search on Google for Sonic X Shadow, I'm gonna get a lot more shipping than I am an unnecessary remake of a 10-year-old game that still looks and runs perfectly and has a nearly unmatched, boundless library of fan-generated content and mods. Alright, what should I do a micro reacts to? Spontman's 8-bit video? Screw it. I'd do that. Not the whole thing, but he would allow it. He would want to know that I'm talking about it. And then he would probably show up and grit his teeth through the ads because he's not subscribed to Alex Yard. and he can only bear to watch Alex Yard when Alex Yard is talking about he. Shout out to Spontman. We might grill you a little bit for your hasty review process that is gradually being revealed, but we love you nonetheless. Spontman, our Hedgehog. I think I saw some stuff on Twitter about, of all things, a Sonic Blast fan remake. And it looked kind of cool. Goodbye, Faster Than Light. Uh-oh, did I miss any YouTube chats? When did the Twitch window get bigger? Yeah, sorry, Shadow Ops. Looks like you didn't say much in the intervening minutes, but you did say thank you and tag me. Alright, cool. Koyao has not seen Spontman's video. Alright, so I was not going to accuse Shadow Ops of anything, but I did have a thought of something to accuse him of, which is using Shazam. But at least you admit it. Yeah, I would say in the future, please do not do that, because anyone could just do that. That defeats the purpose of the, kind of the mystery game of it. You hear it, it's on the tip of your tongue, it feels vaguely familiar. Yeah, but when I saw you type only Engie Ben Prutney, which is exactly what shows up as the title and channel name of this, I was like, yeah, maybe this is the work of AI, not Shadow Ops' infinite video game music knowledge. It's not the end of the world, though. What am I looking for, man? Spontman, his Hedgehog. Here it comes. Spontman. I assume Spontman is younger than me and didn't grow up with these games, so I'll let him off the hook for any and all negative critiques. I'm just kidding, man. But it's absolutely relevant. Before I even... Oh, did he have a shout-out to my Shadow Music Theory video? What a stand-up guy. Yeah, I'm not going to turn on the audio until I do the attribution of Spont the Man Hedgehog. Spontman, developer of Nuclear Cheetah. All right, what do you got for us?
Genesis adventures, but also a slew of original
Too loud, sorry.
titles. There are a lot of these, varying both in genre and quality. For this
see if he's
video,
got
I'll be focusing
quality
on 2D
captions.
side-scrolling platformers
Nice.
where the Blue Blur himself is the main character. Yes, that means no Sonic Labyrinth and no Tails Adventure. I know this will disappoint some people, but if I'm ever going to get through this series, I have to draw the line between mainline and spin-off somewhere.
I think
so for the
Labyrinth
sake of
is
my
worth your
sanity,
time.
I'm drawing it here. Speaking of keeping my sanity, I also did not finish every single one of these games.
Labyrinth, I think, should be included in 8-bit review compilations like this, but not Tails Adventure or Sky Patrol. There, I said it.
Because of this, I'll be focusing on critiquing the core design rather than the experience as a whole. Unlike my main retrospectives, Rapid Fire Review is not about making formal, holistic assessments of each game's content. Instead,
Uh-oh, JJ's hearing this, and he's like, excuses. Oh, it's a different format, so you don't have to do depth.
think of it more as a sampler, a brief look at each game to see what they're all about. With that in mind, and without further ado, this is Rapid Fire Review. As you'd probably expect, Sonic the Hedgehog is the 8-bit counterpart to, well, Sonic the Hedgehog.
He did a
than
bit.
sharing a few environments, though, the version on Master System and Game Gear is a completely different game from its Genesis counterpart. The most immediately obvious difference to me, of course, was the lack of pinball physics, and consequently, the lack of level design designed around it. Did I seriously use design twice in a row in the same sentence?
Uh-oh. Ooh, this is, so I needled last time when he did the bit about semicolons in the script, and here he is doing it again, bringing things to a screeching halt to talk about the script behind the scenes, right? You might as well include in your video the phrase, hold on, my AC turned off, but on automatically. I need to go turn it on, right? This is permanent content.
Around it. Did I seriously use design twice in a row in the same sentence? There are...
Spotman, I'm glad you're amused, but think about your audience.
Are limited slope physics, and Sonic can roll into a ball, but you won't be running up any walls or going around any loop-de-loops in this game.
There are loop-de-loops in... Oh no, that's Green Hills Zone in 2. There's no loops in 1, huh? Mind blown. Koyo loves 8-bit Green Hill Zone, and so do I.
On any other generation of consoles, I would criticize this, but it's important to remember that the Genesis games could only have such complex physics systems because of the 16-bit hardware. Therefore, it'd be unreasonable for me to criticize this.
Well, I don't know. I think this goes without saying. It goes without saying that you would not hold a Game Gear game to a 16-bit standard, right? You would evaluate it on par with, you know, what the standard is for 8-bit games.
With an 8-bit game, so I won't. Because of this lack of physics, though, 8-bit Sonic 1 is designed a lot...
Right, if you were to stop and think, what is the gold standard for graphics on the Game Gear? And if anyone watching this has a thought, I'm curious. What, right, if you talk about, like, what standard should we hold a Game Gear game to? Like, what is the top-tier graphical look on the entire library? JJ says, that's what a good objective critic would do. What? Hold it to 8-bit criteria?
More like a traditional platformer than its Genesis counterpart, and by traditional platformer standards, it's not great. The level design at best is meh, but there are some really bad moments.
I don't like auto-scrollers at all, but it's only one level, and Jungle Zone, was it Act 2, has that camera premise that I don't like. Alright, JJ says, that's what a subjective critic would do. And what is it? It's, okay. A subjective critic would just rate the graphics saying, like, this is so terrible. I'd rather play a Genesis game with better graphics.
Moments sprinkled throughout. Labyrinth Zone sucks just as much, if not more, than the Genesis version, and this stupid part of Jungle Zone has the death plane move with the camera, meaning the game will punish you for jumping to lower platforms to get items you missed. Among the worst of these low points are the bosses. The hitboxes on these just straight up won't register half the time, and since you start these fights with no rings, they can get tedious real fast.
You know, I wonder about that. I don't think I've ever had that issue. Let's deep dive this gameplay moment.
Among the worst of these low points are the bosses. The hitboxes.
Alright, this is the replay booth in New York City, going frame by frame. Okay, so he first hits Eggman, so he's like very far to the right. I always jump on Eggman right in the middle. So if hitting him on the right...
Straight up...
Yeah, so he fell through like pretty much a lot closer to the middle. So that should have worked, but that doesn't happen to me. Maybe I actually don't remember if what we're looking at is... It's got to be Master System. Look how wide it is. Unless it's a widescreen hack, I don't know. That's strange.
Won't register.
Koyo has this to say. Bridge Zone. Discuss.
Half the time, and since you start these fights with no rings, they can get tedious real fast. Overall...
What happened there?
The time, and since you start these fights with no rings, they can get tedious real fast. Overall, Sonic the Hedgehog...
Well, that, he got hit by the bomb.
No rings, they can get tedious real fast.
Yeah, that was not... I think he was under the impression that Eggman's machine hurt him, and then it was another, you know, collision issue, but no, I think it was ill-advised to hit him once and then just try and hit him again while he's about to deliver his cannonball. Vector says, valid criticism. I mean, look, if the hitbox is not working here at this Bridge Island Zone boss, yes, that's totally fair. I just wonder why it never happens to me. And then when I look at this,
and since you start these fights,
right, this boss, you can't, he is just like, oh, I got a hit. All right, time to get another hit. Not all hit opportunities are created equally. I think it's very risky to try to go for a second hit.
with no rings, they can
watch.
get tedious.
So, when does he die? There's the bomb. So, I would need to know if the hitbox of the bomb... I know that when I first started to fight this boss, I died a lot. And I remember... I may have thought, like, wow, that hitbox on the bomb is not generous. You know what? It's a moot point. Because he would have just kept falling anyway. If he thinks Eggman hurt him, then even if that was not... He would just continue falling and then die by the cannonball anyway. Now, Vector Sater says, passing through the boss like that in the first place is unintuitive compared to other platformers in either Sonic game. Well, but Sonic games are not even consistent on that, right? I know that in Sonic 3, you can chain hits on just about every boss, if not all of them. But Sonic 2, I always learn the hard way when I stream it. Even that... Right, Sonic 2 is actually inconsistent within the game because I believe that you can chain hits on Chemical Plant, but you cannot on Aquatic Ruin. That's back-to-back zones where chaining hits is not even consistent. So Sonic 2 actually does a much worse job, right? Because it's not even consistent.
Real fast. Overall, Sonic the Hedgehog's 8-bit debut doesn't make a very good first impression. The chiptune music is nice, and there's some decent platforming here and there, but between the janky bosses and the level design being downright horrible at times, I really can't recommend this one.
Alright, we'll look at one more of the games. Should it be 8-bit Sonic 2, since that's a big game for JJ. Stream it here a whole lot. Yeah, I'm going with that.
While Sonic 1 shared some similarities with the Genesis version, Sonic 2 on Master System and Game Gear is its own beast, with entirely new levels, mechanics, gimmicks, etc.
Alright, so Vector says, passing through the... Well, okay, that only adds to your points. So I guess... I don't know for sure what version of the game Spuntman is playing. However, I would say... It's as long as it's consistent within the game, it's fine. Because I can totally understand why Sonic Team or whoever's developing it would not necessarily want to automatically allow chain hits, because if you make it so that you can't chain hits, right, and so Eggman has some iframes, then that allows you to do different things with the boss. There are certain boss design choices that would never work if you can chain hits, and making it not chain hittable, giving Robotnik those iframes, opens up a lot of possibilities. So I'm okay as long as it's consistent within the game. Just like I'm okay with Metroid games not having a standardized wall jump. Right? In Metroid Fusion, you cannot, do subsequent wall jumps on the same wall. And that's not a flaw, that's a feature. That deliberately played into the level design of that game. So, I can only, because I've never encountered any hitbox issues with bosses, I would want to know exactly which version of the game that he's playing, because I really only play the Master System version anymore, and That never. I play that game, both of these games on stream with no right? I have that Bridge Zone Island boss. I will always face that doing 3 hits at a time, you know?
Etc. As one would expect from a sequel, Sonic 2 makes some headway over its predecessor in a few areas. For one thing, the environments look quite a bit better, featuring more detailed sprite work. Sonic's player sprites still look like they came out of an NES game, but at least we're improving. The level design also doesn't have nearly as much annoying moments as the first game. With that said though, it's also kind of boring now. While the first game was pretty good about introducing fresh gimmicks to every act, Sonic 2 is content to introduce one new thing in Act 1, then coast along with it for the rest of the zone. It reminds me of how Sonic 1 on Genesis did its acts, except at least those were able to have more varied terrain thanks to the hardware. On the other hand, Sonic 2 8-bit zones don't seem to evolve all that much, whether it's within or between them. The bosses have also gotten easier, and while I am much, whether it's within or between...
No, man. Look, should the paraglider be more intuitive? Maybe, but you can look it up online on how to use it easily. JJ wonders, how is this NES looking? JJ says the NES couldn't do more than 4 colors on a single sprite, so... JJ says the paraglider sucks in the OG. And what's the OG? It's got to be Game Gear, right? Yeah, I can't speak for the Game Gear version, but Vector Satyr always died to the first boss on Game Gear. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the Screen Crunch Underground Zone boss with those bouncing cannon, yeah, that one is notoriously horrible, and you can figure out how to do it reliably, but it's, for a day one purchase experience, that's pretty awful.
The bosses have also gotten easier, and while I am thankful, I think they're a little too easy now.
So here he is saying the bosses have gotten easier. So that means this is definitely the Master System version. And yeah, this is a blind spot in his review. He seems blissfully unaware that the Game Gear version was made first, and that when they, ported it to Master System, they made some changes to alleviate the pain of the OG Game Gear cartridge.
Now, were they even trying with this bird boss? The guy doesn't even attack you, you just hit him till he's dead.
So, this is fascinating. What the hell is going on here? Why doesn't the bird shoot his fireballs? JJ, I'm fascinated to know your reaction to this. JJ says he doesn't play more than once. He can be stun locked. Oh, okay, so if you babysit this boss and you hit him quickly after your last hit, then you can kind of interrupt any and all projectile attacks. I can't believe I don't remember that I did that, but I totally believe it. It's incredible that I've had game overs on stream. Super Rayman still stands by his belief that Master System was made first. Now, that's what I thought for a long time, but Pimp Problem and others, admittedly, I don't know exactly what they cited that, right? But I was like you for a while, Super Rayman. I just could not fathom. Vector Satyr says, easier to do what you know than say what you do. If that's a riddle, I can't figure it out. But yeah, JJ maybe knows, no pressure, about what kind of confirms which was made first.
dead. Sonic 2 8-bit is overall better than its predecessor, but I wouldn't call it more enjoyable. Rather, I'd call it less unenjoyable. It did iron out a lot of the tedious and frustrating moments from the first game, but it didn't do anything terribly interesting to fill the void. The result is a game that, while fleetingly fun, can't help but feel a little empty. While Sonic 1 and 2 shared their titles with the Genesis versions, Sonic Chaos would be the first to break the trend, like
Sonic Chaos now. Alright, Vector Sage says, talking about me forgetting the strat. So it's easier to actually execute than it is to recollect and report. Now, Super Rayman is citing the final build dates, because the Master System Sonic 2 was finished first. Yeah, that could be relevant. I don't know if JJ was privy to that information. I don't know if Super Rayman has a source for the final build dates. JJ says, the fact that the EU market was a last consideration back for Sega in the day, so that Master System ports were developed to capitalize on those markets. Yeah, I'll confess that my understanding of this is not airtight. I would not place a $10 bet about this topic. But I was just like Super Rayman for a long time. I was like, no, they made the Master System version, and then they made the crunched screen version of it that suffered because it was the small screen on hardware. Alright, Super Rayman says, just open the ROMs in a hex editor and you can clearly see the build dates. So since I don't talk to Pimp Problem anymore, maybe JJ can ask Pimp Problem if he's looked at the build dates and wondered how that explains things. Because if what Super Rayman is saying is the case, then that just about settles it, right? But yeah, we are going to wrap now, everybody. So I want to say thanks for hanging out during this plus more. Thanks for today's song request. From Koyao, that was a great space falafel. Okay, so JJ says he might ask him because P Problem has apparently retired from being online. Now, I wondered about that because I saw someone share a slice of media that, yeah, almost gave me that impression. It would probably be advisable for me to not talk about that on the air at this time. But that's fascinating and entertaining. Koyao is pitching Alex Mania Plus. Yeah. It was a wild card plus segment after Mania. That's so goddamn funny. Oh, but I should keep my trap shut, shouldn't I? Super Rayman says, in addition, one of the early Game Gear Sonic Chaos prototypes, the time cards are too big for the Game Gear stream. Let me read that again. Alright, so that's for Sonic Chaos. So you're making the point that Sonic Chaos, at least, well, not at least, but if we're talking about Sonic Chaos, it has time cards that are too big for the Game Gear screen. So I take it to mean that they obviously made the Master System one first, and then ported over those assets. They didn't fit. So if they're too big, it wouldn't make sense that they were made first. Yeah, the zone cards, title cards. Yeah, and hello, Hypertails. I have to apologize, Hypertails, that we're literally about to end the stream, because I always start streaming at 4 p.m., and it's way past 4 p.m., people. What's happened since you were last here? Well, I put out the Shadow video yesterday. I started arcs to get all the emblems in Sonic Heroes. I started another arc to get all the paths, to play every single path in Shadow the Hedgehog. And why don't I give you guys a nice morsel since you listened to me ramble about the Spearfire composition situation? Let me give you a first ever first, okay? So the other of the 3 arcs that I began in Hypertails' absence was I've begun a quest to listen to every single Sega Genesis soundtrack. So as part of this quest, all I have to do to win the quest is to listen to every Genesis soundtrack. But as I go along and I hear a specific song that I like, I add it to a playlist. So I'm still only on the A's, and of course there's like 800 plus Sega Genesis games, maybe more. I'm not even done with the A's, and I already have a list with no fewer than 37 tracks. Okay? I highly recommend you just give this a listen on shuffle. I highly recommend shuffle so you're getting a good distribution. It's not like all one style, 5 songs in a row. Listen to it on shuffle. I think you'll be delighted. And this is just the A's. This is just the A's. All right? So, yeah. Let me give you guys a parting gift. Discover some awesome Genesis music. There it is. Hypertails can't wait to pop in. Hypertails says, cool, I'm not going to watch streams for the next 2 months, and then I'll pop in for another update. Cool. But yes, thank you very much, Third Bruno. Glad you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on Saturday. Super Rayman cites the detail that both Sonic 2 and Chaos were developed by the same company, so it makes sense. Hypertails is going to check out the playlist, and maybe, just maybe, if you have some micro enjoyment from it, it might motivate you to come back next week and say, I liked the playlist, and then not show up for 2 months. Always great to have you pop in, Hypertails. Stay hyper, use both tails, and I'll see you next time. But Koyao has got well wishes for Hypertails. That's what I want to see. So yeah, I'm going to sign off now. So Super Rayman, take care as well. Thank you for the tip of the tea kettle. Good evening. Hypertails, see you in 2 months. Other than next week's cameo. Koyao, thank you for the great song request. Got a whole lot of mileage out of that there one. Almost everyone's name is green today, at least on my end. JJ, have yourself a good one. Vector Sader, always a pleasure. Everyone else who's watching live and watching the VOD, beyond those who are in chat, I want to thank you for checking out today's broadcast. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe okay, it's probably... I'm glad you said that, Vector Sader. Yeah, I bet you the thing is private. So, how can I... There we go. Now it is unlisted. Do I have to click a save button, or does that automatically save? Alright, let me drop the link again in case the link is dependent on the status. And hello, Kamayana. I appreciate the kind words. You said you enjoyed the stream and the new videos too. Very happy with the Shadow video, let me tell you. And I appreciate the sentiment. To many more music theory videos. Alright, and Vector Sader even says that it is not dependent on the private versus unlisted status. It's the same link, sugar. Cool. So, enjoy. Yeah, I highly recommend you use Shuffle, and I should just scramble up the songs anyway in case some people don't remember, because if you hear, I already said it. But I'll see you all on Saturday, everybody, for a heaping helping of Shadow That Hedgehog. Hat in Time, Pac-Man World 2. Dude, Third Bruno, I have been struggling with the lava level. And the real cry and shame is that it's... Right, the last time I streamed Pac-Man the other day, I just did that one lava level. In my off-stream file, I haven't even gotten to that level. So the lava level before that, I've sat down on 2 different nights to try to beat it. I tried. I failed. But it's amazing that I succeeded on that level live on the air. But I can't do it in a measured, focused, nighttime environment. What's happening to my hood? Third Bruno has this to say. Good night, everybody. No, should I leave you, instead of Kotaku, I'll leave you with a Twitter nugget. Since X is the cool kids' platform for culture, Subsonic Sparkle's got some tweets about animation content. Cybershell's got his new Netlore episode I'm going to listen to. I got nothing. It's just lamenting the end of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games lineage. So I guess I do have to go to Kotaku. Bungie devs react to more mass layoffs. My whole team is gone. One more poo headline. Nvidia just grew by 329 billion in a single day. Whatever. Wow. And how fitting. Incredible new Elden Ring glitch is letting players fly through Shadow of the Erd Tree. So, to gamers everywhere, Vector Sater says not funny. If you don't find it funny, it's fine. If you think it was in bad taste, all right, was that Bungie? Bungie laid off 17% of their staff after they said they would. All right, if they said they wouldn't, yeah, that's legit. That's totally fair. Bungie CEO locked his account just as the layoffs were announced this morning. So let me spin that into a positive. Is the gaming industry unionized yet? Because if it's not, then they should file the paperwork today. Because clearly it's necessary, right? Even outside of Bungie, right? Working in video games is a horrible gig, especially if you're not financially well off to be. Like, it's brutal. With all the contracting nonsense that even Nintendo continues to be guilty of to this day, right? Expecting crunch, dishonest CEOs, in this case, giving dishonest forecasts of what they're going to lay off. Yeah. At a certain point, I have to sympathize with all these game developers, but also ask in all earnesty, why are you not unionized? Okay, Vector Sater says there's more unions by the month, so it sounds like it's a company-by-company thing. I guess I wonder why it's not like Hollywood actors, where it's just, you're in the union. It's the Screen Actors Guild, there it is. Third Bruno is glad that you never got roped into any of these game companies. Ubisoft, Bungie, Activision, Blizzard. You wonder if you met a different fate if you had a PS3. And look, a lot of this behavior is the very logical byproduct of unbridled capitalism. Companies getting bigger and bigger, eating away at any meaningful competition, expanding their umbrella of IPs that they own. I think that it's in need of some more checks and balances. So, long live unions. Unionize game devs. That's my parting sentiment. Yeah, no, that's 100% fair, Vector Sater, and I'm glad you spoke up. So my sympathy to those gaming devs. Yeah, you said Blizzard QA joined, but not Blizzard proper. Blizzard proper could have it so much better. So, see you all next time. Take care. Support unions. And do not accept union busting. Oh, that's a unique strain of maliciousness. But Sonic 2 Game Gear is a good Master System. I like all the 8-bit games for the most part.